Yo, what's up, y'all? What's up, yo? That Red Man drop is like 5 minutes, B. Classic. What's up, internets? What's up, internets? You're tuned into the Combat Jack Show featuring Dallas Penn. Unfortunately, Dallas Penn is not with us today. No, he has not quit the show again.
No, he's not died either.
No, nor has he died. He's gone down to Atlanta to visit his mom. What up, Dallas Penn? What up, DP? What's up, crew? How y'all doing? What's up, Premium?
I'm doing great.
Yeah. Matt Raz?
Excellent, as always.
Yeah. DJ Ben Hameen?
Yo.
Super producer A King?
Yeah.
Yo, it's kind of crazy how there's so much more room in this room without Dallas Penn. You notice that? There's so much. I mean,
True. I mean, Dallas usually stands off in the corner.
yeah, he's in the corner. You would think scientifically or ergonomically he wouldn't affect the space, but it seems so much more spacious. Yo, I'm so glad Guru was in here early.
Yep.
Guru's, he's looking extra
Amazing.
glossy. That jacket is looking extra
That's
glossy.
that Montclair.
Huh?
That Montclair.
It's the new shit,
Wait,
right?
I mean, that's that Illuminati money.
No, it's Illuminati.
That's correct.
See, we gotta explain to the internet at one point the difference between our movement, which is Numinati,
Correct.
and Illuminati. And I think sometimes us, even in this room,
Yeah, I don't understand.
kind of confuse the boundaries between the two. You know, Illuminati is that already, that ages-old, established, all-seeing eye, insidious organization that plans all types of nefarious agendas
when you don't need a 401k
and events. You know what I'm saying? They control, allegedly, the resources and ongoings of our current civilization.
Absolutely.
And have been doing so for quite a while.
long time.
That's not us. We're Numinati.
Illuminati.
We're the new movement. I'm saying we move and we change events, but it's not on some nefarious, insidious plot to control the planet's resources.
But we're not teleporting anywhere.
We're not teleporting anywhere. We're not having rituals. We're little children's and animals and sharp objects and pentagons. And goat horns and all types of craziness.
$500,000 watches.
No types of bestiality.
But I think we do.
Yo, you got a tie on.
Oh,
hey,
shit.
King. Oh, shit. Hey, King got a tie on.
He got the burgundy tie.
Yo, I was about to call you by your government name. But no government, there's no government name calling in this
Yeah, I got
boot.
a tie on.
Hey, Combat, I seen you bring up on Twitter about Billy Ocean.
What about Billy Ocean?
I'm saying, King got the Billy Ocean look on today.
That's a very nice tie, man. Who made that tie, A. King?
That's a Stafford.
I don't know.
Is that how you look at the office? You just came straight from the office?
Except for my jeans, I had to switch that up because I didn't want
And the hat.
You wear slacks?
Yes.
Yeah, I got it. The visuals alone, dude. You wear a jacket also?
No.
Do you get barked at the office, man?
Hell no. I mean,
Sometimes?
Nah, not at all.
Have you had to go to human resources?
No.
And shuffle some papers?
They never asked you any human resource questions? Like sexual harassment questions?
Or your performance for this quarter?
I'm not the rapey type.
You're not the Yo, shout out to Always Ambitious. Always Ambitious also is not in the building. What's he doing this week?
He's probably raping somebody.
Come on, stop. He's not. That man's not here to defend himself, man.
Consensually raping somebody.
Consensual rape is not rape, right?
Nah, it's not.
Yo, what are we talking about?
Before we get off the always ambitious subject, can we just? You didn't do his voice right. Okay, how would he respond to? Because you know what, I listened to it.
Yeah.
And that's
What's up, internets?
Yeah.
What's up, internets? This is Always, and she looking right. That little Asian thing right there. Oh. Yo.
Yeah, that's how he was, though. That's how he was.
What are we talking about?
Man, first of all, let's talk about the check. Everybody's on the check-in out here, man. Yo, May is on the check-in.
Who?
Mr. May himself. May.
Wait a minute. First of all, internets. Before I get carried away, and I'm glad that I don't have an agenda other than this interview. We are so appreciative of all of you that have tuned in, all of you that have logged on, all of you that have downloaded or streamed and commented and tweeted and Facebooked and the whole nine. Yo, Like, this shit is real, and I'm so amazed at y'all coming out and getting part of this movement. It's so amazing. It's very humbling. It's also very kind of frightening in a sense. You know what I'm saying? The cats that are tuning in, the responses that we're getting. The Combat Jack Show featuring Dallas Penn salutes all of you. We salute all of you. Salute internets.
I mean, listen. How many downloads of it?
We had a lot. We had a lot.
Internet gold.
Internet gold.
Internet's gold.
What is internet gold though?
It's whatever we want.
Don't mention no numbers yet. Don't mention no numbers.
Whatever we want it to be.
Okay, but all of you guys, man, all of you guys. I mean, I see all of you guys. I mean, I was tweeting. I forgot homeboy's name, but somebody who was a trucker. You know what I'm saying? He's a truck driver for FedEx. To like the executives, to the artists, you know what I'm saying? To like the Maybach Musics and the whole night. It's just so, this shit is really, really happening, man.
You know what the greatest thing I like is when I see people tweet towards Combat Jack Show, Combat Dallas, or me, or A King, or Behind Me, or Matt Raz, when they're quoting people on the show of previous episodes. That to me, that's dope. Like somebody wrote like, "Yo, Premium, are you putting powder on Fab Five's mustache?" Or if you're putting like people just make jokes of quotes that have been said here. You know what I'm saying?
Really
people are paying attention.
People really love the whole racist Pete movement too.
No,
they did.
They may have made fun of it. You know what I like?
Pete, Pete, they did.
I can't wait for the news segment.
But wait, now it's a new month though, right? Now we're not going to call him racist.
I'm
Pete.
Sexist Pete this month.
Did we really agree that you're no longer racist Pete?
No longer racist Pete.
You're sexist Pete.
On
You know how hard it was?
basis, I think he'll still be racist Pete.
Now, did you have to overcome any type of interpersonal obstacles when you fell into this category of being a superficial racist?
Well, I mean, the greatest thing I liked is that a lot of people that would say racist Pete would also say in the same sentence, they're like, "Man, I know you're not racist, man." You know,
you just say racist shit.
Yeah, no. Listen, my goal. Well, there wasn't really a goal, but my goal now is that I got people always telling me when we talk about Torre, they say who, the rapper or the black one or the white one?
Come on, yo,
and you know what? I feel like
keep shitting on Torre.
Yo, I'm not the people saying this.
One.
No,
I swear to you.
No, but Dallas says that. But Dallas says that on.
It's not only King. I swear to you.
I think Dallas started that.
A lot of people.
Not Torre the rapper.
No. He definitely didn't start that.
No. Actually, Torre himself started that on our show.
Which one? Torre the rapper.
Torre the rapper came on here and said he's Torre the rapper, not the brolic one, not the journalistic one.
Okay,
the white one.
Right. Yeah.
But who started saying Torre the white one?
That's what I want to know.
I think it was Dallas Penn.
But what I'm trying to say is it has traveled further than Dallas Penn. Like people will be like, "Oh, what happened with Premium? Why they call him? Oh, we got into this with which one? What Torre? The rapper or the black one or the white one?"
Actually, shout out to Torre. He tweeted some. You know, I was talking about some of my personal favorite episodes yesterday.
I seen that,
and Torre supports us, man. And I really, like I said, man, we have a lot of support. And I really, 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 really appreciate that. What are we talking about?
Man, tonight, I mean, listen.
Ben Hameen.
Yes, sir.
What are we talking? We talking about comic books? What are we talking about? What are we talking about today, man?
I don't know.
I say we go early, get a haiku right from Ben Hameen. Get it out of the way because dumb shit.
You know what? Wait a minute. I have a question.
Yep.
And this goes to Matt Raz.
Okay.
When Pete last month during this whole Black History Month, fallout of the whole Torre, the journalist episode,
White Torre,
right? When he was rightfully dubbed racist Pete, why did you remain silent on some of the issues that were brought up?
I mean, besides that, I was just not close to a microphone at the time. I personally,
conveniently.
I accept my whiteness and my white privilege. I'm not always able to access it, but I have to imagine it's a real thing.
So you understood basically the whole issue that we were discussing when Torre the journalist was on air. You understood the issue,
yeah.
And did you feel a certain way about what we were talking about?
I didn't feel particularly strongly. I don't know. I mean, are you what?
Were you offended in any particular way?
No, I don't think we could do anything on the show that would offend me.
Right. And when Pete got involved, what was your? We never spoke about this before on air. What was your when Pete? I felt dug himself further and further into a hole. What was going on in your mind, dude?
I was just sitting back and watching, being entertained like everybody else.
Right.
now I'm entertainment to you.
Dude, you're very diplomatic, man.
Yeah, he is. He sounds like Obama right now.
Here we go, man. What else we have to talk about?
I think we should jump in some early news.
What we're doing the news right now?
I think this Guru,
because Guru's here right now. Guru's waiting for us.
This Guru interview is going to be phenomenal.
Yeah, you think so?
I know so.
All right,
let's get into the news. Let's get into a couple of segments, and then let's go to a break and bring back Guru.
Hey, Ben Hameen, you ready for the news?
Super producer Premium Pete.
You know what? Let's not fuck around. Let's jump into the news.
Junior.
You know, this is our segment, the Combat Jack Show featuring Dallas Penn. The news with Matt Raz.
Okay, first up, actually, on the issue of racism, we were just discussing, British researchers have found a common heart disease drug may not only lower blood pressure, but racist attitudes.
What? Now, how is this possible? A pill. It's a pill, right?
Yeah, exactly.
That lowers racist attitudes.
Right. I mean, that's not, the intended effect, but I guess they found in different tests that subconscious attitudes towards, say, different pictures of different ethnic groups, people respond more favorably after having taken the medication.
And what do they attribute this reaction to? Like, is it like a blood thinner? Is it making people high or happier? I mean, how are people being less racist when they take this pill?
Well, I mean, one thing that the drug also does besides reduce blood pressure is it can reduce panic and anxiety disorders.
Okay.
So, I mean, I would say to some extent that racism would probably be an anxiety. People are uncomfortable around another group. Maybe that would be lessened by the drug.
So, like, the anxiety, like, chills motherfuckers out.
Yeah, exactly.
What does that have to do with racism?
Yeah.
I don't understand that shit.
Well, I read the report. I mean, it was in the Daily News.
Daily News, yeah.
Right. I read the report, and it said it took a group of whites, and it submitted them to these pills, and then they had them, like, react to certain images. And those who took these pills had more favorable feelings toward these images of different races. Particularly, I don't like the way they lumped it up, blacks and Muslims.
Yo,
and they
racist Daily News.
The race. Well, I mean, of course, but I don't. When I'm not down with a pill.
Yeah, I mean, if you have to take a pill to get rid of racism,
I like working it out.
Yeah,
I like the conversation. I actually like the existence of racism because it gives me something to talk about. I like talking about.
Or read a book. Or read a book. Like Touré's book.
Mm-hmm. So I do appreciate this issue because it allows us to work it out. I feel that the issue of race has allowed me to become a lot closer. You know what I'm saying, to the white supporters and to the whites in this room,
and knowledge people too, because I think that I've learned some stuff from what you spoke about. But to be honest with you, I want to know how much does this pill cost?
Why do you want to get this pill?
I don't know, maybe.
Nah, I mean, so
yeah. Do we have benefits at PNC? It might be covered.
The pill, the racist pill. Yo, please don't. I hope they don't fucking.
Yo, how much is this pill?
Yo, cut it out, man. Cut it out, man. I'm not down with this pill. Let's work it out. What else is going on in the news, man?
All right. Next up, we have a junior high teacher in Southern California,
right,
who has a part-time job. She moonlights as a porn star.
Okay,
XNX,
a veritable porn star.
Right. We don't have the name though or picture, but apparently she's pretty notable. She was placed on leave after a couple of students had found out and snitched to the school administrators. The staff members actually couldn't verify the claim because of the filters on the school computers, but apparently a group of teachers on their phones were able to find her, which kind of makes me think they were just sitting around in the teachers' lounge, like.
So the teachers
looking through, XNXX.
So
X.com.
So it sounds like the teachers kind of jealous of this teacher for having the ability to moonlight with her other talents.
Nah, I think they were just trying to see what was good. I mean, this is the coworkers, I mean, imagine she's a good-looking woman. So
is there anything ethical against? What grade was she a teacher?
7th and 8th, I think.
Yeah, I mean, that's maybe too early combat. But I honestly think that too many teachers, especially the students, are snitching on each other today. I mean, listen, if I was in school and a teacher wanted to sleep with me, I wouldn't say a fucking word. But these people today...
If I was in school and the teacher was doing porn, I wouldn't say a fucking word.
That's what I'm saying. But today...
Like, let that teacher porn.
Yes.
Haters gonna hate.
Haters gonna hate. Like, so now she's out of a job, or is she suspended?
I mean, not just yet. I mean... To be honest, though, I don't really feel like they have grounds to fire her. I don't think she's really letting that cross over. She wasn't
it sounds
hey,
like
kids, go on this website and, look at
it sounds like she was sexing with discretion.
Right.
She was earning a little bit of money.
Right.
Why
I
not?
mean,
I imagine she used an alias of some type. We
I'm
don't
sure.
know from the article, but I'm sure.
Yeah, she wasn't using her real name.
Booty and the Beast.
Yeah, she wasn't. I mean, but then it's kind of like this gray line right now because with all this shit that's coming out in the news about teachers and the abuse and the whole nine with the kids, and it's kind of like a fine line. And I mean, as a parent, how would I don't know, man.
I mean, I don't know how prolific she is or isn't, but I mean, unless she was filming it in the school, I don't feel like it's particularly inappropriate at this point. But
Students do teacher and shit like
yeah,
that.
but honestly, it sounds like she's either going to get fired or they're going to put her in the rubber room.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy. What else is going on in the news, man?
Next up, this one's kind of sad. We have a 2-week-old baby who was born in Maimonides, I believe.
Maimonides.
Right, hospital in Brooklyn.
Right.
And the baby passed away shortly thereafter after contracting type 1 herpes virus.
What?
Right. It was following a religious, an ultra-Orthodox circumcision process.
What's an ultra-Orthodox circumcision?
Well, instead of just your average, say, bris or circumcision, which I believe is the traditional, Jewish ceremony.
Right.
In the ultra-Orthodox ceremony, it additionally has suction. By suction, I mean the rabbi, or the moil, as it were, someone who makes the living of snipping the baby penises. They go and they suck the blood out of the wound after cutting it.
That's crazy.
So the rabbi had herpes.
Right. Now, I don't know how common this particular practice is.
Right.
I mean, I know that that hospital actually does deal with a lot of the Orthodox population of
Right.
It's predominantly Jewish neighborhood.
Right.
But if
this whole
there's
shit
not
is
that many people that
creeping
do
me
it,
out.
there's probably not that many moils that do it. So how many other babies, you know what I mean, has he had his lips wrapped around?
They said it happened before, though.
Yeah, well, not with him, but yeah,
Another
it
baby
happened in
that's passed?
2004. It had the same process.
Oh, but not the same rabbi.
No, not as far as the article had
So
noted.
the rabbi would just...
It sounds like the rabbi himself was dirty.
Yeah.
I mean, that's definitely the impression I got from the article. Yeah, it sounds like he passed the virus. I don't know that it would just be lying around on an instrument or something.
So
like
what's
that.
going to happen right now? Is there like any type of... Because, I mean, once again, this is another fine line where you have a religious practice, but this motherfucker's dirty.
Like the Catholic priest sometimes.
Yeah, like a lot.
Yeah, a lot.
Sometimes a lot.
These
No
motherfuckers
shot.
are driving around with Benz and touching little babies' tuckers.
I mean, to be honest, I think it's a wrap for him, even if he doesn't get formally, disbarred or something
Right.
like that.
You don't disbar a rabbi.
Whatever they do, excommunicate,
You don't disbar.
fire, take his badge and knife, whatever they got to do to him.
Yeah, that's fucked up, B.
But I feel like the news will travel quickly in that community, so I think he's done.
No circumcisions with that moil.
Yeah, exactly.
Yo, that shit is fucked up. What anything else, man?
Yeah, we got one more. We got a Nigerian woman who was caught trying to smuggle $20,000 of heroin.
Which is roughly how much, like size and
magic.
Well, so basically it's about 25 pellets, and if you line up 4 pellets of heroin end to end, that is a hot dog.
Okay.
So
Is it?
she basically had 3 packs of ballpark francs.
3 packs.
Yeah,
Where? In her suitcase?
in her lady pocket.
Could have been Sabret.
In her vagina?
Indeed.
What?
She had 3 packs of...
She had 25 pellets of heroin. They're saying the equivalent size would be about 3 packs of hot dogs.
In her vagina.
Indeed.
In her vagina.
The way they found out was this was over at Kennedy. The customs inspector noticed she looked nervous. She was kind of waddling around.
Waddling.
Yeah. So they said, "Are you pregnant?" She's like, "Yeah, I'm 3 months pregnant."
With hot dogs.
Indeed.
Bitch. Oh, fuck, I can't say
Hey, listen.
bitch on there.
If men and probably women are boofing or cheeking, like
Now,
me and Sean-
is that boofing, Pete, or it's cheeking?
cheeking? Well, me and Sean Price have spoke about this before, but boofing or cheeking, that would have been a boof, but that, to me, that's a voof or.
How do you train to even fucking do that?
Well, what's kind of crazy is in her circumstance, I mean, they said it's probably her maiden voyage. I guess a professional smuggler is actually bringing 200 pellets.
Is that even
That's the
physically,
whole
like,
bring your own blogger barbecue.
Yo, you'd be surprised.
ladies, is that even possible? Like, that's not possible, right? Like,
They said it was
is
up
that
in her.
conceivable?
That was in her intestines.
Is that in her intestines?
Like when they started to strip search her, the pellets were just falling out. It was just raining heroin.
Oh man.
When I was in,
Dubai.
yeah, when I was in Dubai,
You were locked up.
Yeah, there was
Clinker.
people with like kilos in their stomach. There was a transvestite woman. She had like I want to say well over an ounce of heroin.
Well,
Yeah.
I'll tell you this too. In especially in Rikers, you're only allowed to get tops in, and sometimes tops is that cigarette rolling paper. So people put it in a glove. You know, like the glove, like that you use for a dishwasher, like that yellow glove. So a glove is like probably like $60 if you want to buy a glove. So all the tobacco go in each fingers, and there's people that have boofed that whole glove.
Yo,
Wow.
That's crazy.
Is my mic on? 3 packs of hot dogs.
Yo, but the pros have 200 pellets, so that's like 24 packs.
Damn, she fucked up. She
when they
fucked up
caught
a
her,
good shipment, B.
They had her go to the. They have a special toilet called the drug loo.
The drug loo.
Yeah.
And it washes that shit out?
Exactly, it separates it out from the fecal matter, and it basically washes.
So it was in her intestine through her vagine. So now the pipes got crossed, and it was living in the fecal area? Like, what the fuck, B? Matt, where are you finding these news items, man?
Internets.
I don't even know what to say about this, B.
This one was the New York Daily News, I think.
Yo, she got to power through.
No, the World News.
She got to power.
You power through that.
That.
I'll tell you, know what? I feel bad for the next person that she messes with.
She's not gonna be messing with anybody for a long time, B. She's gonna be messing with push-ups and the chaplain.
Yeah, but maybe she gets locked up. She could get her Kegel game up. You know, she'll be straight.
Easy. Yeah.
We got one correction. Shout out to Jay Medina's.
Okay.
He said that in reference to Matt Rise's news story about the teacher.
Yeah.
She didn't get fired. She's on administrative leave.
Right.
Administrative
that's
leave,
what
yeah.
we're
Yeah,
saying.
but he didn't say she got fired.
Okay.
Basically,
we were trying to
she's
figure
got.
out.
Showing love to the internet.
Basically, they're ready to get rid of her unless she
Internets
sues
are
her.
on point.
Salute.
Salute.
On our ass.
Salute.
Hey,
So is that it with the news segment?
Yeah, that's it.
All right, Ben Hameen,
Yep.
before we go to our music break, you got some culture for us, man?
Actually, I might be a little short on culture this week.
Come on, you don't
know,
have no haiku?
my culture cipher might not be
You
so.
don't have no haiku, B?
Get a haiku out there.
Come on, throw one out,
Actually,
B.
haiku was tough.
Yeah. Come on.
Come on,
Let me
man.
back up because whenever he says a haiku, he likes to step back from the mic.
Yeah.
I'm really kind of short on it today, though. Really, honestly, Combat. I got something, but yeah, I'd rather save.
You want
this
to pass
one.
on that?
Yeah, I'd rather pass.
Well, let's
on
do this,
one.
man. Let's go
move
to our
on.
music
Maybe
break.
later.
We got Guru out there. I want to start the interview.
King of a word of the day.
You got a word of the day, B?
Damn. Yes, I do.
What's the word of the day?
Discombobulate.
That's a word, though.
Yeah, but all my words are words.
No, not all your words are words,
Can
B.
define it though.
Huh? Can you define that word, AK?
Discombobulate.
Why are you
disorganized?
Huh?
Disorganized. Dysfunctional.
I don't like this segment. We got to
I
fine
gotta
tune.
prepare myself. Y'all didn't let me know.
We
got
got
to
to fine tune this segment.
I thought it was gonna be next month.
Special shout out to Mad Fresh Daily, who's in the room with us. He's down here from Atlanta.
Oh, that's who that is?
And SG Design is in the building. SG Design.
ATL.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you want me to say your government name because we don't say this is the Justice Hall of Justice.
Kelly Kell.
Kelly Kell. All right, let's go to a music break.
Yeah.
Man. You're tuned into the Combat Jack Show featuring Dallas Penn. Dallas Penn is not in the building.
He did not
F
die. He
your
did not die.
Radio. F your radio.
Yeah, you know what it is? Peter Rosenberg, Hot 97, RosenbergRadio.com, you know what I'm saying? AKA your favorite restaurant's favorite customer, you know what I'm saying? AKA, I just watched a lot of porn consecutively. And you know what it is, man? Real hip-hop, PNC Radio, the Combat Jack Show featuring Dallas Penn, alright? PNCRadio.fm. Real effing hip-hop. Let's go get latkes.
Yeah. Combat Jack Show featuring Dallas Penn. Dallas Penn is not in the building, but it's The Rock. We got The Rock in the building.
All day, every day.
We
What's
got
up?
The Rock in the building. Yo, give a round of applause to Young Guru. What's going on, man?
Everything is everything, man. Finally got here. I've been
Yes,
trying
sir.
to come here for I swear to you, for at least like 6 months.
Really?
Yeah. I've been
6
trying to
months, B?
I've been trying to get here, and I swear to
Ben,
God.
I mean, didn't tell me that.
Yo,
So many times
long
he been like,
time now.
Yeah, he been like, yo, Goo, come on, you gotta do the show, you gotta do the show, you gotta do the show. And I don't only be doing shows like Ben is my dude, I don't just jump on shows of that.
You don't really do internet radio shows.
Yeah, but it's because of you, son. You know what I'm saying? I was like, yo, I gotta come through here and really, really kick it with y'all. You know what I'm saying?
I definitely appreciate
and
that.
That's real talk. That's not no like just gassing you because I'm in front of you. That's real talk.
Now, I gotta commend you. That is a very, very, very classy Rockefeller chain on, B. You got the rock chain on, B.
I do not take my joint off.
Now, how long have you had that, man?
For years. Dame gave me this chain actually back in the day.
You were Christian with the
chain? I definitely had a chaining day.
You had a chaining day?
Yeah, definitely.
How was that,
day.
man?
It was crazy. It was on my birthday. Matter of fact,
it was on your birthday.
Ago. I think it was like 99, 2000, maybe. You know what I'm saying? Dame was my birthday. Dame was like, "Yo, come here," and he just threw it at me in a little box, and I was like, "What the hell is this?" You know what I'm saying? My fault. I didn't mean to curse, but it's like, "Yo, what is this?"
You can curse.
Oh, okay, cool. Shit. Right. Okay, cool.
You know.
So Dame threw it at me, and I was like, "Yo," I opened it up. And he was just like, yo, happy birthday, welcome. You know what I'm saying?
Were you filled with emotion?
I was. You know why? Because Jay was always my dude.
Right.
Me and Jay had that relationship. I know I was, cool with Jay and all that. But it was like, that was officially like Dame, like saying, yo, thank you, man. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate everything you doing here and holding us down and organizing the music and all that. It was, it was like you and the family type of thing. You know what I mean?
You've had a great run, man. You've had a great run, man.
I've been blessed, man. I've been blessed. Like, I feed hip hop and hip hop feeds me back.
Very few. I mean, it's as an industry, it's fed a lot of people, but there are very few individuals who really hit a certain amount of success, a certain level of success. And I would say you're one of the few gentlemen that really
is about
hip hop has been very, very good to you.
Absolutely, man. I love the culture. I love what we do. I love the fact that, like, I'm a regular dude. I pick, move cinder blocks and work on construction. But the fact that I get to do hip hop every day and get paid.
But you wouldn't quit what you're doing now to work
for anything. I made a plan. Now. I made a purposeful plan. You know what I mean? And was like, I'm gonna execute this plan. I had to sit down and be like, is it gonna be hip hop or basketball? When I was in high school, when I was graduating.
Oh, you're nice with the
I was okay. I ain't gonna lie. I was like heavily recruited Division II. I wouldn't have been like snapping at Syracuse, but I could have, played at NYU and, went through and got a scholarship. I had about 30 scholarships to go to college.
Lined up.
You know what I'm saying? And me and my father sat down. I was like, B, I really want to go to Howard. You know what I'm saying? I really want to go there, and I don't want to play ball at all.
And why Howard, man?
The feeling when I walked on that campus for the first time. My cousin went there 2 years ahead of me, and when she was like, yo, you got to come to homecoming, this and that. I think it was like 90. I went to a homecoming, and I walked on that campus,
and
man.
You saw them chicks,
it's more than that. It was the ladies. It was the ladies, but it was the vibe. It was like every progressive black person that you could think of was there doing something. You know what I'm saying? The vibe of what was going on. I was like, I gotta go here. Yeah, the history of it as well. I wasn't as up on the history as when I got in school, but just that vibe of being on the yard back then, man, was unreplaceable. And I was like, I won't go nowhere else. I want to go right here. And this is pre-Puff. This is like pre-everybody. It was just that vibe of being around all them dynamic black people, yo. It was incredible. And that's the real reason why I went there. It was just like, I felt like I could be successful anyway. I'm gonna make it what it is. You get out of it what you put into it. So you give me the book, I'll read the book, I'll memorize this, I'll figure out how to do it. I figure I could be a rocket scientist if I want to, if that was my interest. But it was like, let's go have fun and education.
Right.
So how it was like, that was the main reason why I put down the basketball and was like, I'm going straight for music.
Now what was your major?
Communications, and then communications was a little too easy for me, so then I added business as a minor.
Oh, you added on.
Yeah, school was easy for me, man. Always. Like, that ain't nothing. That's regurgitation. It's like I give you this and I tell you, yo, I'm gonna give you a test on this 6 months from now, memorize this. That ain't learning. You know what I'm saying? Learning is figuring out how to think. Like, freely. Anybody can regurgitate information. So to me,
monkey work.
Yeah, it was simple and easy. Like, that ain't school. School is really going down there and having representation from all 50 states and Hawaii and the islands and figuring out how to do a party that rocks all them people.
Yeah, man.
That's education.
That's cool. Now I know a lot of people, man, that had a hard time in Howard, man.
I know. You know why?
A lot of
because you
people
can get
rein
caught
that
up.
shit in, B.
You can get caught up.
They couldn't rein it in, man.
It's too much. You gotta be the type of person that can say, okay, I'm not partying on Tuesday night and Wednesday night. I'm gonna wait till Thursday night and I'm gonna really do my work and get it done. That was one of the things about my crew that was super impressive. Like, I'm really the only person out of my crew that didn't graduate. And I didn't graduate because I went on tour. You know what I'm saying? Like, I went to go do what I wanted to do. But my point is that everybody in my crew, as much as we partied through parties and was involved in all the social activities, everybody graduated.
Now, where'd you get your study habits from, man?
My mother, my father.
Right.
I swear to God.
What was their background? Are they educators?
Yeah. My mother, my father. My mother's from Newark, New Jersey. My father's from Southeast DC. My father's an accountant. My mother's a teacher.
Okay.
They both went to Delaware State. Ended up in Delaware. That's how I was born in Delaware. But I really got it from them. I always tell people this too. Like, I'm super blessed. I don't know what that is when people in hip hop and people in the black community just be talking about, I don't know my father. I don't know what that is.
Right.
I've known my father every day of my life. I rely on him more now that I'm grown than from 1 to 18. You know what I'm saying? Like, just on grown man advice and life and how to do things. And like, my father's an accountant, so everything in his life is very organized, and he has the most neat handwriting, and he was just a great set off on how to be a man. Like, I never worshipped the drug deal. I worshipped my father. My father was a real quiet dude, but I used to see him get busy. Like, if somebody messed with him, he would get busy, but he was a real quiet dude.
Well, it's the quiet dudes that you gotta really watch out for.
Yeah. I used to pattern myself after my pops. I wanted to be him my whole life.
Now, how did they feel about you making this detour into
my father was like, it's bugged. My mother was the one who was like, yo, stop chasing the dream and you need to get through this. And then my father...
Now, were you having arguments with your mom? Or?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because, we all have those rebellious periods.
Yeah, absolutely. Man. But the one thing about my household is we sat down and talked about everything. It was rebellious, but my parents, since I was like 15, treated me like a grown man. You know what I'm saying? I've been doing parties in original, old school, bring the generators out and rocking the project since I was like 13 years old. So that would be me coming home at 2 o'clock at the age of 13.
2 o'clock.
My parents understood that.
With some money in your pocket.
With money in my pocket, though. You know what I'm saying?
Now, would you contribute to the household that was bills, or you just kept that for kicks?
My pop was always good, man.
Right.
Like, my pop
kept
he
let you live?
Let me live. Most of that money went to records, equipment. You know what I'm saying? You get your little fresh, get your little sneakers or whatever, but most of that money went to records. And studio time. Back then, I used to waste a lot of money in studio time trying to figure out the studio.
Now, I also read that you used to teach as a teenager.
Absolutely. That's in my blood because of my parents. But it's weird how that started because I actually got caught trying to steal some Tommy Hilfiger's out of a mall.
Trying to steal.
That's back when them
no Lowe's.
No Lowe's. I wasn't because see the Lowe's was like the sizes wasn't right for me. Polos was always my joints, but it was like I would have to have the super extra large because I'm tall and lanky. Always been skinny. I'm
big and tall.
15.5-inch neck with 39-inch arms. Right. Like, the blows ain't really fit me right. But
pause, deputy. Are we good?
Approved. That's good.
No pauses, right?
No pause.
That wasn't a pause. That wasn't a pause.
No pause.
No, that's what I'm saying.
I think the 39
He's just checking in with the
point. You didn't say that wasn't a pause.
That wasn't a pause. Yo, who invented pause? Can we get that straight? I say Constipated Monkeys did it. Lord Sear. That's the first person I ever heard say pause with Dame in them.
Yeah. Listen, I say it was started in Marlboro Projects. Pause.
But what's crazy is back in the day, Damon Clark used to say that shit ad nauseum, be like crazy
all the time. They the first people I ever heard say it. Them and Curious George and Lord Sear was the first people I ever heard.
And what's crazy is back in the day, I was like, y'all niggas are ignorant. I will never say that shit. Seriously.
Yeah. But Clark, I tell you, I give it to Clark because Clark will be in a board meeting and pause somebody like 64-year-old like guy that has no idea what the hell he's talking about.
I was interviewing this past summer. I was interviewing Cornel West, Dr. Cornel West.
Right, love him.
And he started talking about and Brother Rick Ross, that phenotype. He is such a beautiful black man. I was like, pause. The source never released those tapes, man. So what were you teaching, man, as a teenager?
I was teaching African history.
To whom?
A bunch of kids. So what I was doing was a community center named People's Settlement that was in the hood. I would go down there. I would teach kids about griots, gurus, just an overview of all African history. That's always been my thing, is to teach and to bring some sense to education, because I just feel like education is really European based. So to bring it, what I used to do was I used to sit in an event in the middle of the board, and I would be like, yo, look at this event from all angles, because your history book is only written from the American perspective.
Right.
So let's take the American
not even
Revolution.
The American perspective.
Yeah, just a white world perspective.
Well, are we cool, Pete? You're not gonna...
Yeah.
Because
You know,
You cool? You're not gonna.
It's what it is.
All right, cool.
It's what it is.
Would you stop?
I just gotta check you, man, because the last time
That was
we were
last
talking
month.
about
Racist Pete was last month. This
history
week,
and the whole
this month,
nine.
I am
We had an
sexist
event.
Pete.
Okay, sexist.
It is. Real talk. It is. It's all derived from that point of view.
Of course.
So I put a topic in the middle of the board, and I'll be like, all right, let's look at this from everybody's perspective. Let's look at the World War I from our perspective, and from the Japanese perspective, and from the African perspective,
And from the Russian perspective, and the whole nine. Now, I'm sorry to cut you off, man, but where did this sense of consciousness come from?
It really came from me disagreeing with what was going on at church. And my mother was the type of person that would allow me to go out and to discover my own things. But you had to back up in my household what you said.
Right, you could have the platform, but don't just be talking.
Don't just be talking. So I got to go to the library and really research and pull stuff. So if poor righteous teachers is saying like take off that cross because it's crossing up your mental, I would take that line and be like, what is he talking about?
Right.
And I would really go research religion. Like around the age of 12, 11 was when I really got into like, okay, I'm going to church, but what does this really mean? How can two people populate the world? So if it's just Adam and Eve and then they have two sons, who did the two sons fuck? You understand what I'm saying? Or how in the Bible can you have grass before you have sun? It's not possible.
How old were you when you started smoking weed?
Probably like 13, 14.
Okay, so this is all going on at the same time. The deep thoughts and the...
But it wasn't like an everyday thing. It was like I was still balling.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? My boys was like, yo, you know what I'm saying, let's try this weed or whatever. And I started smoking and it was like, all right, I'm cool, I'm high, but it wasn't crazy. I don't look like the coked out dude. I was born in 74.
Okay.
So you gotta remember, 86 is that crack.
Yeah.
So we looking at that on the streets.
Right.
So it's like, it's not that, you know what I'm saying? But I still get the vibe and I'm going to the parties and it feels better. That's the first time you sneaking in a couple little beers, you paying the wino to go buy you a beer or something. You know, that type of thing. So it was just, while everybody would be on the strip on a Friday night wilding out, you know what I'm saying, in Delaware, I would be with my 40 in my hand, building with the Ansars. And I'm like, yo, this is wrong in y'all thought process. This is wrong. And I'm 12, 13 years old, but I'm breaking down what they believe in and how this ain't right.
Right.
That was really where it came from.
And I would imagine, like from you being this deep thinker and trying to figure things out, is this where the name Guru came from?
Absolutely.
Right.
Those kids gave me that name.
Okay.
So I had
as an honor,
I'm gonna give you an exclusive.
Right. This is a Combat Jack Show exclusive.
I had the wackest DJ name ever. I was DJ Sage.
DJ Sage.
That was my original DJ.
You used to burn some
name.
shit? You used to burn some sage?
Yeah, DJ Sage.
No, you used to burn sage?
Yes.
Get the fuck out of here.
I got that
beat. You know
beat.
what? Huh?
See, I had an aunt that was super... That was like, she was one of them like big Afro 70s, super progressive, you know what I'm saying, type of women that reads everything.
Right.
So my aunt would get me into all of this, right? And all different types of religions and just the world, like opening up my eyes. So that was my name. I was always trying to be that.
But Sage is also a wise man,
right,
as well.
It was the same thing, but it was corny.
You used to burn the shit,
right. Yeah, we
did. You used to burn the sage.
Hip hop usually takes some shit like that and then it becomes corny.
I'm not mad at you, man.
Young Guru just sounded better. You know what I'm saying? It just sounded
It does sound better.
Name,
Sage versus Young Guru.
And this is before Gangstar, so it wasn't the little, you know what I'm saying, beef with the name and all that.
Now,
just like,
I did want to ask you, man, because I remember like when I started hearing your name, unfortunately it was after, Gangstar had become established. Did you ever get a chance, man, to resolve
never
that issue with
I swear to God, that was one of the things I always wanted to do.
Right.
Like, so when I first heard that he had a problem with it, right? I seen an interview. First thing I do is I call Lays from MOP. That's my dude. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, Lays, yo, get me in touch with this guy. Like, I don't have no numbers on him. I don't know nobody around
And
him.
of course you were a fan of him.
Yeah. No. I'm a super Gangstar fan.
What's your favorite Gangstar album?
See, okay, here we go. No More Mr. Nice Guy was a demo.
Right.
Step in the Arena, Primo hit the like 2-bar loop perfection. Right? Step in the Arena is that perfection of them 2-bar loops. And then I feel like after Step in the Arena, Primo got his swag with the like just chop a sound. And I know I'm not answering your question, and I'm giving you the reason why I can't, because I love Preem so much that I follow his whole career, so it's highlights and all of it. So after stepping in the arena, we get a daily operation. It's like, oh my God, this is perfect, because he hit his mark. And inside of that, you still getting remixes for Nas, for Big, for for Jay. Like everything keeps going. So Preem hit that stride. But I would have to say, like, stepping in the arena was probably my favorite. Give
that man a round of applause, because that is my favorite.
It's probably the best.
I ran, like, my tape popped so many times, B. I was in that zone. So unfortunately, you never got a chance to.
I didn't, and it's like, because him and Preem wasn't all the way together at the end, and I'm so close to Preem, I was reaching out to Preem, and I was like, yo, what's up? And he like, "Goo, don't worry about it, leave it alone. You know what I'm saying? Don't even address it no more, da-da-da." And if Preem say that to me, that's how much respect I got for him. I leave it alone. You know, it's all good. Like, I just wanted Guru to know how much I loved his music, how much I loved his voice, and
you even came about with the name. You know what I'm saying? It was an organic thing.
All we had to do was have a conversation. I guarantee you he'd have been cool with it. But it was like, because of the situation, I didn't get a chance to do that, and it's like an unresolved thing. But it's like, God know and he know, you know what I'm saying, that I ain't mean no harm by it. It wasn't like I came across and was like, oh, Gangstar, let me bite that name because it sounds good. Nah, I was DJing under that name. I got flyers, you know what I'm saying, from early 80s with that name, way before your group.
I will admit, though, man, when you started to pop, I used to always get confused. Like Guru's producing for Jay now? Like, okay, you know what I'm saying? But you you was DJing first.
Right, yeah, absolutely.
And what kind of music were you DJing, man?
Hip hop.
Hip hop?
Yeah, it started out straight old school. Like, okay, in Delaware, we didn't have no clubs, number one. Like, we was always DJing.
No clubs in Delaware.
No clubs. Back in the day, like we talking about early 80s, right? It was really no clubs. It was like we'd DJ in a fire hall or in a school auditorium or the school gym. But our Park and Rec, my father's best friend ran Park and Rec. So they would do midnight basketball games. They would do all this stuff to keep all the kids in one area, so the cops could patrol all night, because the murder thing was getting up crazy. The crack was coming. It was crazy. So what we do?
Cats were trying to infiltrate Delaware at the time.
We had Philly cats. The Yayo boys came down. It was a big thing with them in the 80s. Like, a lot of Delaware crews was fighting the Yayo boys and all that. But it was, it was the 80s.
Right.
So we would have the parties in the middle of the projects, and we would, instead of tapping into the light pole, we would get the generator from the city.
Oh, wow.
And we would be out there all night. And that was the whole thing. We would send the young kids home at like 10, 11 o'clock, but I had a pass because I was working. So it was like I got to meet all the older cats so I always hung out with older cats. That was just the way it was. You know what I mean? I had older cousins that was heavy on the street, so a lot of cats feared him. You know what I mean? Right. So left me alone out of fear for him. But it was like, that was my upbringing. That was my learning people and learning how to DJ and learning what to do.
Now, Guru, man, people, in doing my research about you, man, you have this reputation as being one of the most respected engineers.
I appreciate that.
I've been in this industry for a very long time. I still really don't know what an engineer does.
Okay.
Can you just break down briefly? I know A King has hit me on the elbow about going into our music break.
Yeah,
right?
after this.
So what does it
real quick, a good engineer is the person that, number one, knows every piece of equipment in the studio. He is the person that facilitates putting together the recording and the mixing and the mastering of a record. So when a producer comes in, they have a beat, you're the person that records that. You're supposed to know how to record that, which includes mixing boards, microphones, preamps, all of that. You are a practitioner of audio. That's basically what they taught me in my school. You're supposed to know everything about audio in order to facilitate recording this record. Not only technical stuff, but you're also supposed to be the person that is able to tell the artist, I think you need to take a break to get this note right. I think you should rewrite your rhyme.
Because your voice is strained or the whole nine?
Because we've tried it 10 times and you need to take a break. Or I think the first take that you got was the best take. Or making somebody mad so that they can get in an emotional state to do this type of record or that type of record or that type of record.
Now, how do you get somebody mad? Like, okay,
piss them off.
Okay,
you know what I'm saying? Tell them they corny.
Let's create a real life scenario.
Okay.
How do you get Jay-Z mad?
Well, I don't get Jay mad. Jay's an exception. Jay's an exceptional artist who's very focused, knows what he wants, knows where he's going. Every artist not like that.
Right.
You know, some people just rap and they like, yo, I want to make songs, but they never been in this situation.
So it's rappity
before.
rap.
So but I'm guiding them. Like I'm guiding them to say, okay, yes, you can rap real good, but what are we talking about? What's the topic? Let's break. Some people are at the point where if you took Jay-Z when he first started, Jay didn't know how to break down 16s and do a hook and this, and that's why Reasonable Doubt is the verses are so long.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's just him just getting his ideas out. Somebody had to explain to him. Clark Kent also helped him too, but this is song format and song structure. And then by Hard Knock Life, Jay figured out this is hit song structure. Right? How to hit people in a 3-minute span and get a hit record out of it. You don't necessarily know that when you just like, I want to rap.
So you're this concierge in the studio, and you're kind of showing the artists their way around. And then what's your relationship, or what's the synergy, or the function of you and the producer?
Well, the producer, my job kind of overlaps a lot of stuff. A real engineer is supposed to just be quiet, sit down, twiddle buttons, listen to the producer. The producer's the director. You know what I'm saying? Period, point blank. If I'm in the studio with Just Blaze and I have an opinion and Just has an opinion and we argue about it, at the end of the day, I do what Just wants. Just takes my opinion because he respects me. But if the pecking order has to be set out, Just is on top. Right? Pause. Now that's a pause.
Yes, sir.
That's a pause. Yeah.
Right?
Get on your D.
You know what I'm saying? But because I have sometimes more experience than a lot of producers that are coming out now, I can give them tips. But the producer's responsible for the record. I'm responsible for the sound of the record. Right? That's why I say my job overlaps, because a lot of time, because of my experience, people go to me for more than just engineering.
Right.
Yeah. So I try to facilitate a whole record and help the artist out. Somebody like, if I'm working with Jay, it's more about, are we going in the right direction? You know what I mean? It's a little hard now after all these albums to go, okay, let's think of something we haven't talked about. Right? If I'm working with Stally, who's just coming in and hasn't released a record yet, then it's some groundwork that's going to be done to be like, this is what you need to do. This is they may not even know the formats that the records need to be turned in because they've never done it before, but he can rap really good. You know what I'm saying? And make great records. So you help to, facilitate whatever they need inside the studio. That's really my job.
Okay. Is it time?
Yes, it's going to take a break.
Internets, you're listening to the one and only Young Guru in the house. Rock is in the building.
Did y'all trademark that?
Hit us up on the chat if you got any questions for Young Guru.
We got the chat popping?
Or Twitter.
Yeah.
Hold on. Did y'all trademark internets yet? Do you know how popping that is in the street?
Yeah, we trademarked that, yeah.
Y'all better trademark
we
that.
Trademarked that. That shit is trademarked.
Y'all better get it.
It's trademarked. You know what it is, Internet's a Combat Jack show featuring Dallas Penn. Slow down, baby. Yeah. Combat Jack show featuring Dallas Penn. We got Young Guru in the studio.
Y'all know what it is.
Yes.
That APMD is serious, man. I miss them days.
Yeah, man. Yo, you speak to Nonchalant?
All the time.
Really?
That's like my big sister.
Really?
Yeah, I love her. Like, she put me in the game. You know what I'm saying?
That was your first break?
My first break ever, my first chance, my first real major tour.
Now, she went to Howard?
No. She was just from D.C.
Okay.
So what happened was, remember Rap Pages?
Yeah. Of course.
Yeah, they had a conference in D.C., so I went over there to the Rap Pages conference. I was outside smoking a cigarette with LS1. Used to DJ for Onyx and for DMX.
Okay.
It's my dude. So I was just outside. Her manager walked up to LS and was like, yo, I need somebody to DJ for my girl, but I need the person to be from D.C. because I don't want to be flying somebody back and forth from New York. LS was like, yo, my man right here is nice. So then basically she was like, all right, let me come see. I just did a routine or whatever. My people was living on 6th and Florida at the time. So I had to come over to the crib, 6th and Florida, and just did a routine for her real quick. She was like, all right, we got a show with the Fugees on Friday.
Oh, really?
In Florida. I was like, all right, cool. So we go do the show with the Fugees, and I didn't know basically everybody that was down with the Fugees was from my area in Jersey.
Oh, really?
So I'm seeing they crew, and I'm like, yo, what's up, Leon? What's up? And then they was like, yo, y'all want to go on a European tour with us and open up for us? We was like, hell yeah.
Just after one gig.
Yo, word to mother. Just because our crews meshed. I think it was because it was females. That it wasn't the normal rap testosterone.
So it was Lauren.
It was Lauren, but it was not only just Lauren, like the girl that was doing her hair, I knew her. and they DJ Leon, I knew him, and Jerry and them grandmother lived around a corner from my grandmother. Jerry Wonder and them grandmother lived around a corner from my grandmother. Like it was a lot of it was a lot of just ways that we all just meshed, and they was just like, yo, come open up for us. That was my first, like, I did spot dates. That was my first, like, the bus drives into the venue and the microphone has your name on it and it's like a real
So
tour.
Nonchalant was doing it like that? I mean, I know she had a big record.
At 5 o'clock in the morning was serious, man. We used to do 3 shows a day.
Really?
Because of the fact there was a clean record.
Right.
And it was a positive record. So we might do the 3 o'clock, like we would be the surprise for a high school, and when they get out at 3 o'clock, we be in the auditorium and do a show. And then we'll go do another show in a mall, and then that night go do a show.
Right.
I mean, we was clocking like 3 shows a day.
So this is what led you to drop out of school?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Now, how'd you go from that to becoming an engineer? Like who?
Okay, well, what happened?
Who decides they're going to be an engineer?
I did. Well, I always wanted to do that. Like, I was always the person that took stuff apart. Like, I would take your bike apart, fix it. Take your VCR apart, fix it. I was always that guy. I went to school, in high school to this thing called FAME. It was Forum for the Advancement of Minorities in Engineering. I was going to be a regular engineer, like build a bridge, civil engineer.
Right, okay.
Right? But then when I got with 9, we did that tour. I came home. I had a couple $dollars in my pocket. I was like, all right, I need to go to school, but I'm not going to Full Sail because it's too expensive. So I found this little studio in Rockville, Maryland, right outside of D.C. called Omega. They had a program to teach engineering. I went out there and nobody was really that serious. So they gave me the book. I read the book in like 2 days. Came back, I was like, yo, I'm like super serious. You know what I mean? I told all the instructors this. So they kind of took a liking to me, and I was, you know, getting extra help and figuring out stuff and got to sit in on sessions. So then when Nan got her second album, I engineered her second album.
So now you're getting 2
So
tracks.
now it's like,
Now you're getting 2 tracks.
Yeah, exactly. But it was also the comfort of that being my group. So the nervousness that you would have sitting in front of somebody in that hot seat, it was my group.
Right.
So I got to figure out all the little stuff that I didn't really know in front of that. That's how I met Chucky Thompson. Chucky was the executive producer on Nan's album. So it's still all family. Like before Chucky, the Bad Boy dudes, I was with like Derek Angeletti and Ron Lawrence and all them. Them was my old heads in school. But it was really on a thing like Puff through all the parties. So we would be out front. Me, Tracy Lee, Pie, everybody. We'd be out front like, yo, get us in, Derek, get us in. You know what I mean? That was our relationship.
Right.
And then it was like they popped off. You know what I mean? They didn't pop off till 95.
95.
Right. So we was all, I'm the last person to come, and I came in 92. So it was like, you know, just trying to find something for you to do, and that was my passion. I was like, all right, let me go to school for engineering. And it just worked. Like after that, I was in the studio. I used to be mad too at the like trying to do a session, and the rock engineer didn't really care, and it was like he took an hour to put the thing into the sampler in the 950, because back then hip hop, you didn't have the equipment.
Right.
You had records. You would walk into the studio and start looping up and trying up stuff in the studio. No, I had equipment. That was like special people, people that was already on and had records. You know what I mean?
But you came to the table like, nah, I'm not trying to do it this way.
I want to learn how to do everything, so I'm not wasting my time in the studio.
Now Ben Hameen tells me that y'all go back to these days. You met Ben Hameen in Howard, and he said
that's
that
my
you
dude right
used
there.
to sleep on his floor.
That was my guy, man.
Really?
Like Ben was of that. Let me tell you what it was. By the time Ben got there, when you came, 94? 93?
Yeah, 94.
94, right? So I had already been down there 2 years. By this time, I got the clubs on lock. Like no lie, that's not even an exaggeration.
No, on lock.
On lock.
Yeah, like I'm doing my own clubs.
And that's very big in DC.
Yeah. Now Friday night
DC
was
is
our
a
night
big party town.
to do our own party, and then I would DJ for other clubs like the Ritz and all that on Saturday, Sunday. But DC's a big party town, so you might get the hour.
So the money's good right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're making cash.
Yeah. And I was
DJing.
I was making some money, but it was more about the crew back then.
Right.
Like a lot of times I would the Friday night party. This is what we would do. Now remember, it's me, it's Tracy, it's a whole bunch of people that is a crew. So we would take all the money from the party on Friday, and that was studio money. I would take $50, $100 out that party because that was my personal
Now tell us
party.
about the crew, because we were talking about this off air.
Right.
But like, what crew were
so
you
when
running
you
with?
get when I got down to Howard, it was like, okay, you know, Jedi meet Jedi. you see the metachlorian levels in certain people.
Metachlorian levels.
You mess with Star Wars?
Okay, yeah, I got it.
That's the word of the day.
Right.
That's the word of the day.
Metachlorian.
Metachlorian.
That's when Jedis meet another Jedi.
Yeah,
You be like, yo, his metachlorian level is so high.
Right.
You can just sense it, right?
The force is strong in that one.
The hip hop heads is gonna come together with the other hip hop heads. So really, in my crew, it was me. I was a DJ. Tracy Lee, he was a rapper. We had another group called One Step Beyond, which was Mitty and this guy named Mike.
Kenya Flow,
right? They was like 2 seconds away from being signed to Bad Boy,
right?
They was like super close.
They put it in,
right?
Pause.
We had the Reaps who actually had a deal. My man Pa, who did the on Trey's It's party time. We actually got them signed to Universal, but Dino was the A&R, and then Dino finds this group called Cash Money. So then once Cash Money came in,
Cash Money took
a whole lot of attention. No, we all had deals at the same time. Right. Dino had the Reaps, Cash Money, and Rakim all at the same time. So it was like we was bottom of the barrel,
of course,
basically. But we ended up. Now this is in school. You know what I'm saying? We in college.
And
like
you still
I'm going to class.
You're still getting good grades.
Yes. And
what was your GPA, man?
My GPA was never no lower than 3.2.
Wow.
Ever. Never no lower than. And that's with no work. Like if I'd have studied and really went in, like I said, school was easy to me. You know what I mean? It was regurgitation. But I was going to class and my flyer would be on the wall. In the classroom, and the girl would be like, yo, passing me my own flyer and be like, yo, come to this. I'll be like, that's me, you know what I'm saying? That was what was going on. But it wasn't just that. It was us trying to throw parties and make money. Our whole thing was to make money any way that we could make money.
Were you falling in love with any co-eds, man, or it was no love?
A lot of love going on.
A lot of love.
But it was hard at Howard, yo. I'm trying to tell you, it's the nerd dude has 5
That's
chicks.
kind of a pause, too.
It's
kind of hard at Howard.
Yeah, I mean, but see that now you get too. It's in the same sentence as Howard.
Now that's
too technical. I'm getting into it too.
But I'll tell you one thing.
Talk about females. At Howard, it's 11-1.
Yes.
So
that was the Georgetown. I was
nigga, the nerd nigga has 5 chicks.
Wow.
Now imagine it for any nigga that's halfway popping, and I can get you into the party for free.
So basically, these new cats, they would have been getting mad pussy right now.
Anybody get put. That's not even a stat. For real, us that went to Howard, we don't consider that a stat because everybody got pussy. Like it's not even a big thing.
So nobody in the crew is not getting.
Nobody. Everybody had multiple chicks. They might want to hide that now. You know what I'm saying? But everybody had multiple chicks.
Okay.
It was never a time when you didn't have at least 5 numbers that you could call.
Easy.
And you really ain't messing with that because you're going to go to the club and pull something else.
Right.
Like, it was, the woman thing at Howard was just crazy, yo. That was crazy. I've never, ever in my life will I ever be in a situation to fuck as much as I was in college.
Probably a good thing.
Ever.
I'll tell you, I have a question real quick for Guru. Like, you spoke about, like, being successful and jumping out of college and, and following your dream. You ever have anything, thoughts of going back and finishing college,
I did. For a minute, I was like, yo, you know what I'm saying? I want my degree just because I put so much time into it and I'm real close. Like, I'm maybe about 20 credits away from finishing. But then the other side of me that be like, it ain't about that piece of paper. That piece of paper is a receipt.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When you go through the real process and you understand what college is, if you really want to learn that subject, especially now with the internet, you can just look the subject up and really read it. That's it. It's your determination because when you get into school, they give you a book, they give you a syllabus that's going to tell you when every test is going to be. Like, it's up to you to teach yourself, and then you have help. You have assistants, you have professors that help you, but it's really self-education. So for me, if it's something I really want to know, I educate myself about it. That's it. I read about it. Physics is probably my hobby just because, you know what I'm saying? I could go sit in with Michio Kaku and have a real conversation with him. You know what I'm saying? Half the people don't even know who Michio Kaku is. But it's somebody I worship on the physics side. Like, that's what I do.
Who's Michio Kaku?
He's like one of the leading physicists right now in the world. He's a real funny dude. Like, there's other people out there, Roger Penrose, people like that. But they scientists. They got white lab coats on. They real corny. They can't. Yeah, this guy Michio Kaku's funny. He's
Michio Kaku.
Yes, he makes physics very funny.
I think he's Japanese.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely.
So, damn, this where's the time going?
Didn't we say it, man? I mean,
I warned you.
A million questions. I ain't even
Go
get
ahead.
to like
Fire
three
them
of
off.
them.
Fire them off.
Fuck. How'd you get to the Rock, man?
Through Bleak.
I
was working independently. I got with L'Oreal. L'Oreal was working.
Coppage.
Yes. She was working at Def Jam.
She was like a manager to you, or
she was absolutely my manager.
Okay.
She was working as we kind of gangstered this situation. She don't work there no more, so it's hot. She was an A&R administrator at Def Jam. Basically, she's the person who was giving out PO numbers for the sessions, organizing people money sessions. So every day, the A&R administrator has to call people and be like, I need an engineer for this session. She figured out, why am I calling someone else? Let me manage my engineers and put them on these sessions.
Okay.
I got down with her basically because she had managed Doro. Doro was the only young black engineer that I knew, so I kind of followed him and was like, who manages him? Let me get with her.
You touched on it, man. I've been to a lot of studio sessions, man.
Yeah.
I would say 99% of the engineers that I've seen are nerdy white boys. So for you to decide to go and become an engineer is totally against the grain.
Right. I consider him the Jackie Robinson of it.
Right.
But it was like, we just came through and tried to put our foot down, basically because I felt like them people ain't gonna know hip hop the way that I know hip hop.
Right.
And it's things that I can say to hip hop artists that person can't say to hip hop artists, or that Nori is gonna tell that white boy shut up.
Right.
You know
I mean, most engineers that I've seen get abused in the studio.
Absolutely.
Were cats abusing you at first, or trying to abuse you?
Never. They try to play you. It wasn't no abuse,
right.
But it was like try to play you, like send you to the store for a Dutch. And then,
but that's not your gig,
back.
though.
Yeah, but when you interning, you know what I'm saying, or when you just get in the studio,
and then when you get back, what happens? Like
they send you back to the store for something else.
Oh, really?
And then send you back to the store for something else.
We do that here, so we got.
Yeah.
You're working with Bleak. You're engineering his record.
I went independent. I came to New York to work for Derek Angeletti. He was working on a Mad Rapper album. Mm-hmm. That was '99. That got done. So then when that was finished,
that was a big deal at the time.
Yeah, that album was serious because it had so many people on it. Mm-hmm. It was the first time I ever talked to this white kid from Detroit named Eminem. You know what I'm saying? We got him for like $5,000 because my assistant came back and was like, yo, this white boy just destroyed the Lyricist Lounge last night. Mm-hmm. It was like the Beatnuts, Puff, Busta Rhymes.
Was 50 on that record?
50. How to Rob is on that record. First time you ever heard 50 Cent. Well, first time I ever heard 50 Cent. It was just a great experience. There's so many MCs that was, we was living in that studio at the time. And then Derek, as a bad boy producer, was doing a lot of work. You know what I'm saying? He was doing a lot of beats for a bunch of other people. So it was a great experience. I went from that, went independent. I met up with Bleak. Me and Bleak just struck a crazy relationship. It's my dude. Like, we just friends. You know what I'm saying? I don't know other way to put it. That's a great friend of mine.
Now, is he still one record away?
He's still one record away. He just got to buckle down, decide who he want to be, man. That's it. Bleak got the talent to do it. And I never seen no dude that gets so much love everywhere he go. And ladies love him. You know what I'm saying? But I think it's people expect Bleak to be Jay.
Right.
And it's like, yo, Bleak
you
not
think so?
Jay.
I think people expect Bleak to be Bleak.
I don't know for a long
time. But nobody knows what Bleak is
because of the fact that it's always the shadow of Jay.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? And you have him wrong. You think that he's like made it and that Jay just pays all his bills, and then this dude work hard. Like Jay don't just write a nigga a check like, yo, here's $1 million. Like, that's in the will.
Right.
He got to die first for that. You ain't just getting $1 million. Like, you know what I'm saying? And Jay is a real dude. Like, it ain't no nepotism. You eat what you kill.
He works hard. I mean,
you eat what you kill.
Right. Yeah.
It ain't.
That's real. That's real.
It ain't no hand.
And then Bleak has gotten this bad rap now about, like, the backstage when he went to get the Outback and the whole nine.
Yo, I eat an Outback. He was probably ordering with me. You know what I'm saying? He was probably ordering with me. I eat an Outback.
Okay, so you meet Jay through.
Yeah, I met Jay through Bleak. Right. Jay came to a couple Bleak sessions, and one of the sessions, he asked me to put up a reel and to do one of his songs. After that, he was just like, yo, come to Baseline. You know what I'm saying? I want to work with you.
Now, what record was this? What album around this time? What album was this?
This was Dynasty. I was working on Bleak's second album, and that record was Streets is Talking. Yeah, Jay was like, yo, put the reel up or whatever. Then once he saw how I worked, he was just like, yo, come mess with us at Baseline. I met Hip Hop. Hip was like, yo, we want you here the whole time. Jay was like, I definitely want this kid here. Boom, boom, boom. And
are you dealing with Dame at all?
Nah, Dame was not really in the studio person. At that time, Jay was more of the controlling the studio person. Dame was always at Rockaway dealing with clothes. Not to say Dame wouldn't stop by the studio, but a normal day, there was no 40-40s, there was no nets, there was no none of that. Jay would be at Baseline like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Dame might come through once every 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying? The Rockaway thing was his world. The studio was Jay world. That's basically how it went.
So the empire is still being built when you come in.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you've seen these new artists because you're coming in. I would imagine.
Yeah, now I was there for the freeways coming in and for the state properties coming in. And all
was
that.
Beanie already there?
Beans was there, but Beans was still on his first joint.
Okay.
So it was like I got to mess with Beans on his first joint, you know what I'm saying? And me and Beans is like brothers. Like we come from, me being from Wilmington, Delaware, him being from Philly.
Which is right there.
Our childhoods are sort of similar. Beans grew up a little harder than me, you know what I'm saying? But it was like we share the same things. We listened to the same radio. We went to the same clubs. We did the same things. Like,
how was it working with Beans, man?
I love
that dude
him.
is incredibly talented.
He's
man.
one of the best. I love Beans. Beans says the rhymes that almost make me cry sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Because it's so real to my life. And like
he seems like a real emotional
Beans, but you know what it is? Beans is that person that like he's so real. And when I say real, I don't mean bust your gun real. I mean like you get the same Beanie Siegel in front of his mother, in front of the judge, in front of the niggas, in front of women. He's Beans, right? Whether that's positive or negative, he's always. So that means that if he's in a situation where he's in the club and somebody disrespect him, he's going to be Beans. Right. Whereas a normal artist is like, yo, I got so much on the line, I can't afford to fight somebody and this and it ain't worth it. He gonna still be Beans.
Now, was it easy directing him, working with him?
Absolutely.
He got it?
Me and him, our relationship is just so tight. He trusted me and I knew his talent level. So it's like, yo, give him this or give him that, or yo, Justice made this. You need to check this out. Beans, you should go down this lane. And all you got to do is direct him and be like, yo, it's way down that road.
Direction.
Oh my God.
He looked like he would pass gas in the studio.
Yeah, he would. But the way that Beans would work is he would go live life. He would. Yeah. He would go live life. He would call me at like 1 o'clock in the morning and be like, yo, cool, I'm on my way up. 3 o'clock. And he'd stay for 5 days and knock out mad records and then go back to Philly and live for a minute. But in them 5 days, we was sleeping in the studio. We wake up, go buy toothbrushes and toothpaste, not even taking showers, not changing nothing, and we'll work on records for 5 days. He'd go home for another 2 months, live life and have stuff to talk about, come back and mash out for another 5 days.
How about Freeway? How's it working with Freeway?
Freeway's the man. Like Freeway, in terms of Free's career, it was almost total, like, me just Free put that album together. So when you hear Free, okay, Goo, you want me to try this Free shit? Correct. Yeah, that's me really going, yo, okay, do this and say this and how you feel. Or Freeway's such a creative artist. One time we was in Miami and he just started doing some dumb shit like my piano. I'm like, yo, Free, what are you doing? Right. Get out the booth. You know what I'm saying? But that's how creative he is. He'll try anything. And I love artists like that. You just got to tell them when they go too far and be like, nah. But Free's so creative. And then I love the fact that when he first came, people was like, nah, Goo, the voice, Goo. Nah, Goo, that voice, it'll never happen. I'm like, yo, watch, because I'm around him and I know what he talk about and what he spit. And when Free hit with the rock the mics and all that, I was like, I told y'all Free was going to do what he
wasn't
did.
really fucking
the voice. With him. At first they couldn't fuck with the voice.
And the flow is a little different too.
It's crazy.
It's actually a lot different.
Yeah, but then when you understood what he was doing, it's genius. Right. You know what I'm saying? And then when him and Beans get together, it's like, man.
Now, how is it working with Cam?
Cam was the funnest nigga, man. I fucks with Cam to this day. Him, Jimmy, all them. You know why? Because they go-getters. Right. Like, you ain't got to tell them. Oh, my God. You ain't got to tell them. Right. You ain't got to tell. It's a crack of time in there. I'm in there. Right. When they had the free reign, like, Baseline wasn't you got the studio from 9 to this time. It was just control chaos. Right. And at the end of the day, I look up, I have 7 records, but I be bouncing from room to room doing this, and that. And the Cam and them will come, and I think at the end of the day, it might not have been enough space for everything that can, because you remember Baseline is really 2 rooms. Almost, we make 3 rooms, but at the end of the day, you got Jay in there, you got Beans in there, you got Bleak in there. You know, we would space it out, and Cam and them vision was so huge. It was like, nah, it ain't just Cam, it's Jimmy, it's this one, it's that one. And they had the whole Dipset, they had the whole Dipset. Or it's like, okay, Cam is down in Atlanta doing a show and I'm not with him, I'm doing a song. Like, it's plenty of nights when me and Jimmy was in there by ourselves, or me and Jewels was in there by ourselves, or the fact that, like, we did Old Boy in 2 seconds and nobody even thought about it, and just took it to the radio and it blew up. But it's like, this is me, and this may be me stunting a little bit. I feel like I know these artists so well that I make the best records with them. Right. I dare you to find better Cam records than the succession of Old Boy, Welcome to New York City, Hey Ma. Like, that album is, to me, Cam's best album. You know what I'm saying? It's a thing about being in the studio where you could be like, no, that's not it. You can do better than that. And I don't know if people, when they leave out of the situation with me, if they still have that. Because I'm going to definitely be like, nah, I know you're the shit. I know you could do better than that.
I think he was more than an engineer, man. He was a coach.
Yeah, I mean,
to a certain degree,
he was the head coach.
Now, one of my favorite records from that era is Welcome to New York City.
Oh, absolutely.
Jay and Cam at their very best.
Yes.
Right? Now, were they in the same spot recording this at the same time? What was the vibe like?
The vibe was crazy.
With Jay and Cam.
Because Cam was always like, yo, come on, son.
Right.
When we gonna get the record? Let me get a record with you.
He was hungry to get Jay to support him as a new member of the Rock. Right,
we all here. Just came up with the beat. Jewels had a verse to that too, but I don't think we kept Jewels' verse for some reason or whatever. But then Jewels ended up just doing like the hook part or whatever. But Jewels had a dope verse to that too. But it was just Jay and Cam, like back and forth. They was both in the room. Just was in the B room, made the beat. Man, because it was really Cam going, yo, I want this song with Jay, and we didn't have. It was Motown. Right. It was like, yo, here's 50 million beats. Whoever come up with the best song,
it's a factory.
You got the best song to that beat? Let's go. Let's put that out. And Cam was just like, yo, let's do the record. Jay was like, yeah. They walked in the A room, knocked it out.
It's such a goddamn shame that I can't foresee them doing another record.
I wish they would, but it's life is life, and people are who
now,
they are.
Did you see any friction at the time, or
nah? Because I was too busy making records,
right.
And then here's the bullshit. People got so many opinions, and I knew this and I knew that, and that's bullshit. Like Jay, Dame, and Biggs will always have their meetings in the B room. None of us went in there.
You weren't privy to anything that was going on.
Nobody was.
And you didn't expect to be.
It was them three.
To have access
and it's
to that.
Really not my business.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, it's like, I'm not a female that's like, yo, what y'all just talk about?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? No.
You're getting good money and you're making good records.
My whole thing is to, at the end of the day, go, yo, J. Dame Biggs, I made these records today. And the system that we was in. Def Jam back then was Leo, Kev, and Julie. They never ever questioned us about, nah, that's not really the single. You know what I'm saying? They thing was like, okay, this is it.
Because you guys had already proven yourself.
I'm gonna make it the biggest shit.
Because you guys had already proven yourself, and you guys were professional.
Right.
How was working with Kanye, man?
I've seen Kanye's progression for a long time. I've actually known Kanye longer than everybody in Rockefeller because he used to be managed by Derek and Free.
Exactly.
He had the co-management going on with Derek and Free.
Right.
So back then in those days, Kanye would be in Chicago. He would send Derek like monthly DATs. Remember them digital audio tapes?
Yeah. I hated those shits.
He would send monthly DATs. So in a one room, we would have the Kanye January, the Kanye February. I've known Kanye's beats for a long time. And he put in his dues. And he has there's a lot of beats out there that have him as co-producer that he produced. Right. You know what I'm saying? Just period.
Now, I asked a lot of people this that were around back then. See, I did not believe in Kanye.
A lot of people didn't. But absolutely. Now let me tell you why. And there's a great point to that. I'm glad you didn't. Because if everyone would have believed in him, I don't think that he would have been forced to push himself to prove that he was as nice as he is.
So he already knew.
His whole thing to
that
me
he was the least likely to succeed.
I gotta prove it. They not believe in me. Because when Kanye, even back then, you gotta remember, he was in Go Getters. That was a group in Chicago. Kanye always rhymed. So he would do the beat and then he would say a rhyme to you. That's how he got so many hooks.
Right.
Is because he would already have a song to the beat.
So that was his agenda from the gate.
Every person had the same idea you had. I swear to God, I've seen this a million times from every artist. They'd be like, yo, Ye, Just play the beat.
Just fall back, B.
Play the beat.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Nobody
You're a good producer. Get your money.
You're an incredible producer.
Don't do this, man.
Right. Nobody took him serious on the rhyme tip. And you know who he was one of the first people that was like, yo, I love this nigga.
Because how it went down, though, was like this, Drew. I remember when you told me about Ye and Just as making beats, and you were like,
right,
we got these two cats, it's over. And then I remember I heard Ye rhyme on, he had a song That Way. And that was the first time I heard him rhyme, and I called him up. And he was like, he was like how everybody else was, you know. And I was like, nah, Kanye is the fucking truth. He's gonna be bigger than everybody. And then he called Ye up, put Ye on the phone with me, and
because to be honest with you, it was sort of like, yo, we trying to make these records and you keep rhyming, like get an artist to, but okay. But the point at which I knew Lauryn Hill's live CD came out, right? I'm a Lauryn Hill fan. I used to have a little crushy crush on Lauryn, right?
Hill was like,
Lauryn Hill was it to me. I'm from Jersey. You know what I'm saying? She would rock a pair of polo boots with oh my God. Or whatever. Her live album Ultimate B Girl. Live album came out, I went and copped it. I'm sitting in Baseline, I'm listening to it. Kanye comes in, and the next day I can't find my album. I'm like, this nigga stole my album, right? Comes back, but he plays me All Falls Down. And he plays me a rough no chorus, no choir and all that Jesus Walks. And I looked at Hop and I was like, yo, he's ready. Like, now I believe.
But what happened to your CD, though?
He's ready. He kept the shit. I went and bought another one.
Nigga was stealing shit out
Nigga stole my CD, for real. For real, Kanye stole my CD. But it was cool, though. It was cool. I got a lot of shit stolen out of the studio.
Right.
Yeah.
And then how is it working with Jay now? Was it it like an echelon, like you working with everybody and then this is Jay?
Nah, it was like Jay is just, you know, it's like being Michael Jordan's trainer.
Right.
Like Michael Jordan would still be Michael Jordan without you, but you get to be the trainer of possibly the best guy ever.
Now, where you getting the confidence to work with Jay? Because I would imagine cats coming into the game would be a little intimidated because
of my relationship with him, and we have a great relationship.
Right, so he was very welcoming and opening.
Well, Jay is Jay. He reminds me of my uncles.
Why are you laughing? Pause. Opening. I'm sorry. Pardon me.
Pause. Deputy decline.
Nah, he definitely reminds me of my uncles. Where it's not like a hey, but it's the love is shown in other ways, right? And it's a very honest type of thing. So when Jay bring you in, it's like, okay, you didn't have to do that. I say this to people all the time, like it makes sense for him to bring Bleak in, right? That's my guy.
They're from the same place.
A building, I live the floor above you type of thing.
He's on his first record.
Yeah, exactly. Cool. I don't know you from Adam, so for you to bring me to have that meeting and be like, I'm bringing you in, and now you have the ability to buy a house, and you have to worry about jobs, and you can, you know what I'm saying? Like you're brought in. So how can I not be thankful and like do my it's not the type of thing where I'm gonna be like, oh, I love you every day. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna show you I love you by doing the work.
He inspired you to do your best
and blocking the bullshit
and not taking it for granted.
Yeah, I never take my job for granted. I know it's 1,000 people that would die to be in my position, but it's like I'm gonna outwork you. That's the Derek Angeletti in me. Right. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna outwork you. That's what I got from Derek. I'm gonna outwork you just all day. I take those little bits and pieces from Chucky. Was probably the most creative person I ever been around. Derek is probably the hardest working nigga I've ever seen in my life.
He probably gets that from Puff.
Just to stay up, to stay up thing. I can stay up for a week and I know I can outwork you.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, I would imagine that the environment in the studio at the time in Baseline is everybody's keeping everybody sharp. Because I've noticed that when you get more than one rapper in the room, that rapper's talents is gonna leap exponentially.
Absolutely. It was a nice, friendly competition, but it was also brothers like helping each other, saying we got other crews out there.
Right.
So it was like, you got to remember at the time it was Rockefeller, it was Murder Inc., it was Rough Riders. You know what I'm saying? It was all of that. So it was like, and we kind of all in the same building.
Right.
So the brothers that was in the studio would kind of help each other and be like, yo, you ain't got your rhyme together, you need a line here, you need this or that. And it was back and forth. It was nobody like straight like writing someone's rhyme and going, here, say that. You know what I'm saying? But it was like, if Beans and Free got a joint where they going back and forth, Chris might have had 2 lines in there that he gave to them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It was like, brotherhood, but it was also a competition in terms of like steel sharpen steel. I got these many rhymes, I could go forever, and I'm gonna talk about this. Or just to be able to go, it's Beans' turn. Let's put his album out. Then Freeway is the next because he got on Rock the Mic. Let's put his album out. The State Property album really came about because Beans and Bleak was supposed to do an album together. We spent a month in Miami because Bleak brother got in an accident. You know what I'm saying? And Beans and Bleak just never connected on studio time. They just work at different hours. So after
I remember reading something saying that Bleak is an early morning cat.
Very early.
And Beans is a late night dude.
Very late.
So,
you know what I mean?
So was it also an environment where if somebody wasn't spitting shit right, the cats would be extra critical?
Oh, absolutely.
Like your shit is not popping.
Oh, absolutely. We had Keep It Real Wednesdays.
Right.
That was the most incredible thing ever. Like Keep It Real Wednesdays was the day where you just let it all out.
Right.
One, it allowed every producer in New York City. You could come by. I don't care if you was a known producer, you had Grammys, or you was a nobody off the street. You could come in and play your beats for everybody, and Jay would be sitting on that couch too. If you was whack, you would get laughed at, almost to the point where some of your favorite producers cried and walked out of that room. But if you was good, somebody was cutting a record to your beat. So we had to Keep It Real Wednesdays, but we also had to keep it real, like amongst ourselves,
right?
To be like, yo, that's not really hot.
Now this is like I'm a huge Jay fan, and a question that I always sit with right now is Jay has become this uber star.
Yeah,
who keeps it real with Jay now? Like who?
Me, Tata, you know, the people in his immediate circle, Jay Brown, Dubs. You know, Jay don't want no yes men around him, or no Jay, niggas that's just like, yo, I'm gonna kiss your ass. Jay will be the first person to kick you out the room if you on that.
Right.
Like you just extra laugh at the joke. Get him the fuck out of here, man.
Right.
You know,
but the thing is this though, Jay is at a point right now where almost everything he drops is going to do well regardless.
I don't look at it like that.
No?
I can't look at it like that. No.
So
I work hard
like,
to make
Jay,
sure
that shit is not hot.
I don't think people understand how much work goes in to putting together these albums, or how much we critique. Jay critiques his music more than any other artist I've ever seen. Jay will be the one to spit 3 verses, and I'm like, yo, they're incredibly hot. And he'd be like, yo, which one is the hottest verse? Okay, verse 2. Take them other 2 off. And re-spit it again. And try to find a better way and say, am I going in the right direction, Goo? Did I over-rap this song? Do I got enough tricks in it where the crowd can be involved? Because the artist is just rapping. So Jay-Z designs his life the way that it is. It's not by accident. It's a very, you know what I'm saying, planned out thing, and he's very particular about what he's doing. We don't just make music. Like, we're very particular about our audience, who we doing. I come from.
So he really.
Yeah, I represent the underground barbershop nigga. Right? In the arguments. Tata's gonna represent the cat that listens to R&B. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody represents something else, and we all argue and say, yo, we like this or we like that. But Jay is his own A&R, his own head of the label, his own. So his final word is his. But at the end of the day, he take all of our opinion into account. Now here comes soldiering. Here come real soldiering. The part about soldiering that's hard is when you disagree with the order. Right? But you still go execute anyway because he's the general, and that's how soldiers roll.
Right.
That's the problem that some people can't deal with. So you can't take the private flights and the chilling and the whatever it is, and the, you know what I'm saying, the crib in Miami and everywhere else we go without following orders.
Right.
So if the general say, yo, this is the way it is, and I know that my opinion got taken into account, but we still going opposite, I gotta go opposite. And I gotta trust that man has a greater experience than me.
And so far it has worked.
Absolutely. I just revel in the fact that my opinion is listened to and considered. You know what I'm saying? When you work at IBM, your opinion is not listened to. They're gonna do whatever the hell they want to do.
Hey King, you want to take some questions from the chat room?
Yeah.
How we doing with time, man?
I mean, we're gonna take some questions.
Because Guru is being so giving right now of his time.
I got something from someone.
I'm here.
Let me just
go ahead, hit that chat room.
And then El Jugga, he asked, do you think there's any chance that the Rockefeller reforms or even performs together again?
Yeah. If I got anything to say about it, you know what I'm saying? I would love to see everybody back together on stage. It's nothing short of you would have to smack my mother in the face for me to never be able to sit down at the table and talk to you. But it's not me. I don't have a problem with nobody. It's everybody else getting together. So yeah, I would love to see that. A reunion would be incredible.
Now, you still speak to Dame?
Every once in a while.
How's he doing, man?
He's doing good. When he the spot that he got what was the dojo?
Yeah.
I used to go by there, every once in a while, just see him and say what's up to him. I love that cat, man. Dame is a funny dude. Like, you gotta understand Dame. You gotta understand snapping, and you gotta have been grown up around niggas. Like, if you didn't, then that's gonna get on your nerves.
Right.
But if you snap back, he's gonna laugh and you're gonna have a fun time.
Yeah.
But if you don't, it's gonna get on your nerves.
If you get mad, you just keep coming, man.
Yeah.
What else we got?
I got a friend of a room. May got on a check and got a question. He's saying, "Yo, Guru, how would the present time Jay-Z stand over a beat from Ski Beats for Quap?"
Jay got some present Ski stuff. You know what I'm saying? Him and Ski still talk. Ski was with us not too long ago. Like, Ski's doing his thing though. You know what I'm saying? Ski is definitely like taking the reins, and his karate school joints is crazy. I think Jay would sound great on a Ski beat. We should try to get Ski on the next album. I think Ski is really in a zone right now.
Nah, Ski he's reinvigorated his career.
Yeah. What he's doing with the live, incorporating the live stuff is dope. I love Ski.
And I guess we could segue this question into our break. Boss Nard, shout out to Boss Nard. He wants to know. He wants you to give us an update on Jay Electronica.
Jay Electronica.
Let's hold that, though. Let's hold that.
We'll hold that.
We got one more segment. Internets, thanks for being patient with us. You're tuned into the Combat Jack Show featuring Dallas Penn. Dallas Penn is not in the building.
He did not die.
We got The Rock in the building. He's in Atlanta visiting his mom's.
Oh, dope.
Mom Dukes. But we got Young Guru in the house tonight.
Yes, sir.
Let's go to this music break. www.pncradio.fm.
Ben Amin on the 1 and 2.
Ben Amin on the 1 and 2.
Take it away.
Yo.
Internets, y'all good? Are y'all good? Y'all getting enough content? Internet, so y'all getting enough content? You're tuned into the Combat Jack Show featuring Dallas Penn, www.pncradio.fm. Guru, man, you breaking it down.
Yes, sir.
This shit don't stop, man.
Nah, never. Sometimes I be feeling like I could split myself into like 3 different people. I would get a lot more done.
Clones.
I wish.
Are you for cloning?
Nah.
Stem cell research?
Illuminati.
No. Not at all. And I'm really against what's going on right now. I think it should be illegal. I think the government made a bad decision when we allow people to own forms of life. That's not right.
Like pets?
No. In terms of people don't know this, but what's going on right now is the whole reason that there's so much research about DNA is because back in the day, this guy made a piece of bacteria that was used to clean up oil. So he modified some bacteria so that it could eat oil, so that when there was oil spills, and he went to the government and said he wanted a patent on this bacteria. The stupid dickheads that was in the government basically gave him a patent to a form of life because it doesn't have a head and a tail and all that, but it's a form of life.
It doesn't have reproductive organs as well.
But it reproduces in a different way. So now what's happening? Single
cell organism.
Yeah, no. It's just a piece of bacteria.
Right.
So now what's happening is that you have companies that are going out and locking down all forms of life. You don't understand this. At a certain point, they're going to own all the monkeys, all the giraffes, all the gorillas, all the horses, all the everything. Because all they have to do is genetically modify it and say, okay, now this one is my type of horse. This is my type of this. This is my type of that.
This is my type of Negro.
This is already going on.
This is my type of Negro.
Which is the eventual point that we will get to when we get to the point where you can
modify slavery.
A human,
super Negro,
right?
I think there's somebody.
But if you're modifying bacteria,
it's called the Human Genome Project. People can Google it. I'm very serious about this. It doesn't make sense. What they're doing is they're making Terminator seeds. And Terminator seeds are seeds that you plant in the ground. They grow whatever they're supposed to grow for the 1 year, and then you can't take the seed from that apple and replant it. They purposely make it so that the seed will be sterile. That shit should be illegal. There's no way our government should be allowing stuff like that to go on. That's against nature.
But since it will be legal,
does
this
it's
mean
legal
that
now.
Everybody will have the right, everyone, to own a potential slave?
Yes. Yes. Because when you get to the point where you clone a human being and then you make your own type, it's going to start with military. The same way that everything in this country starts and is funded by military. So what they're going to do is we're going to save your son by making these clones that's going to go fight, but then the government going to own the clones.
Right. But I'm going to tell you, man, we kind of need to playing field a little bit level, man. What kind of slave would I have?
Yeah.
I don't know. Build me some buildings. Give me some buildings. I mean, fuck like the domestic shit. I want some buildings. Be like, some field slaves. Be.
You need that racist bill.
Anyway,
want somebody to replace you?
Jay Electronica, man. We were talking about Jay Electronica.
One of the most interesting MCs I've ever
Interesting
met
is a
in
loaded
my
word,
life.
man. Is a loaded word.
He has a very specific purpose.
Which is what exactly?
To save hip hop.
That's his mission.
His mission. His
like
mission.
He carries
in life.
that.
Yes.
He wakes up.
Yes.
Does push-ups.
I'm not
I gotta
gonna
save hip hop.
Yeah, I'm not doing no bullshit. And I have a very specific purpose to who I am and why I rap and what my message is. And I'm a little older than the rest of y'all, so I've lived life. He was homeless for a long time. This dude traveled the world. He means that when he says I'm in touch with every shrine from Japan to Oaxaca. Like he has actually been there. Right? He might
Oaxaca.
He might have been there. You know what I'm saying?
Where's Oaxaca?
I have no idea. I've never been there.
Is that Mexico?
Queens.
That's not.
You know what I'm saying? But that dude is he's the type of MC that like you let him take his time. I don't like talking about his album because he don't like me talking about it because he wants to just hit the people with it. But it's incredible. Period.
So far. What's coming
What I
together?
have right now as his album is incredible and will knock out every album that's out there right now. Period.
Where does it stand amongst the classics, the greats?
Depends on what you like. Depends on what you. It's definitely up there with those. And that's not. I don't want to put that type of pressure on him. And of course, I don't believe in a no bias. I am biased because I worked on it. You know what I'm saying? And I know what it is, and I work with him. And you know that I believe that's bullshit to be like no bias. You know what I'm saying? But he's an incredible MC. He thinks. He doesn't just make music for the sake of making music. Like that dude, you can't judge him with the same scale of I want to make you dance type of music. It ain't that. You know what I'm saying? It's some real hip hop and it's a real message behind it. It's a real reason why that man get up and breathe every day. Like real serious talk. And rap is not the only thing in his life.
So we talking third, fourth quarter,
whenever he's ready.
Quarter,
whenever he's ready.
2013.
Whenever he's ready. I think Cole proved the fact that we don't have to rush our MCs.
Congratulations. By the way, man, give him a round of applause, man, for the success of the Cole album.
That man worked hard on his album. I think Jay should be applauded for giving him the time to grow because I think the thing that really propelled J. Cole was the old school way to go around and kiss all the babies and shake the hands and you know do it because he didn't have a hit record and he still came in number one. And when I say hit record, I mean hit in the terms of what we say modern day of the amount of spins and the, all of that. He had good music and he had great loyal fans. He had fans that he built himself from walking around and talking to them. Yeah.
You dropped a bombshell yesterday, man.
Okay.
About 2 days ago now, right? Is it midnight? No, yesterday.
It's weird to me sometimes. I do interviews, right? And then I'll talk for 2-3 hours with somebody and they'll take like 2 seconds of the conversation. So a lot of that interview, not that I was mad, but a lot of that interview was about other stuff. And then he just asked me about like, yo, what's up with Jay?
We don't do that here.
Yeah, no. He's like,
we give you the whole meal.
Yeah, and everybody focuses in on that. It's like, yo,
we raise interviews here. We take our time and cultivate interviews.
I appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? Them dudes do what they do. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I was saying what I would like to see. And then people are like, so what's the title? I'm like, I'm not going to tell you the title. You know what I'm saying? You're going to have to wait and see what we do. Yes, there's a title that exists, but you're not going to get it. And
but you're excited about this title.
I'm super excited. I'm always excited about when Jay comes with ideas. And we still music people. You know what I'm saying? When you come with it, that's what I mean. After all these years, if you could come with a fresh new idea, you're like, oh shit, yes, let's go. We did it. Here's another one. Let's go. And I know what it's going to do. And I can already see the tour and the way the stage is going to look and the posters. And I can see it.
No hints at all.
No, none.
No, is it future Jay? It's just space transporting.
You gotta wait and see.
Star Wars Jay.
You gotta wait and see.
Okay.
But I will say this though. I'm super voting for this good album. I want people to see how good Kanye is in terms of putting together a crew and what they do and putting together like an album where it's all. I think that's great for Kanye to be the Marley Marl and to have a Juice crew. Like that's dope to me. I want to see Kanye like really put it out there so that people can stop questioning his level. Like I don't care about the other antics or what you think about Kanye or who he's girlfriend is or none of that. I deal with
people
music.
question Kanye though. Still?
No, in terms of the other parts, like people talk to me too much about personal stuff that's going. Why is he doing fashion good? Why is it? Because that's what he want to do. That's what he into.
Yo, listen,
I'm
man.
not talking about. I'm talking about his music.
Kanye could do whatever the fuck
Absolutely
he wants to do.
Those are the same
If
people
he wants to raise human genomes in his basement to make beats, he could do whatever the fuck
that
he
man
wants.
is a genius, man. You put him in the studio. All these people that talk shit, I put you in the studio and put him in the studio, and y'all sit there. You sit there with your beat machine and let him sit there with his, and he's gonna make fresher shit than you. Period.
Those are the same people that'll be online for them Yeezys, and those same people will be wearing the same shit he's wearing.
So, tell me how the record Glory came about, man.
Thank God. Okay, so I went to Zurich. I did a New Year's party in Zurich, and thank God I flew home the next day. Because right then, as soon as I got off the plane, Jay called me. He was like, yo, come to the studio or whatever. And Jay, like me and Jay, like that's what I'm telling people. Me and Jay don't have these conversations where it's like, we're going to do this for the next week. It's just like, yo,
It's very spontaneous.
Right, very spontaneous. So
Because that's what you can do at this. You guys at a level where it's like, yo, fuck it.
he can go in whenever he wants to. That's part of the owning your own studio.
Right.
So he calls me, we go in, and I'm like, okay, Jay's about to download. Because a lot of times Jay, because he really don't write stuff down. At a certain point, Jay will just. Do you think
sometimes he should write something?
No. I think it helps him way better.
Right.
And his flow is better. My meaning is that at a certain point he'll download, even if there's no beat. He'll just go in and say the rap so it's down, so he can take that out the hard drive, pause, and then load it up with other shit.
Good one. That was a good one.
Right. So he calls me and he's like, "Yo, come through. I want to do the record," but he didn't tell me what it was.
But he just had the baby.
I didn't know. We was waiting. No, matter of fact, we did Glory before the baby came.
Okay.
Right, we did it before the baby came.
Right, I see.
So we was all waiting around. He's like, any day, it's about to happen. And I want to do my version of, like the Stevie Wonder song. You know what I'm saying? It was very much that. Right. It was very much the like, yo, I know what I'm doing. This is an ode to my unborn child, to my daughter. Mm-hmm. So that when she's 13, 14, she can look back and be like, my dad did a record to me. You know what I'm saying? And it was a dope thing. And then he got so personal on it. When I'm sitting there and he spits the rhyme, I'm like, word, you gonna let that out? Like that B had the miscarriage and all that? You know what I mean? Like, word.
Because he's a private person.
Yeah, very super private.
And very calculating in what he lets out.
Yeah. So when he said that, I'm like, wow, like you really, I said to him, yo, I said, first of all, women is gonna love you. Mm-hmm. I said, every dude that has a child is gonna like connect with the record, and then you're also taking us again further in hip hop, where now it's kind of cool for you to do that, like to do the record or to show the emotion. You're talking about your child.
Right.
Let's get grown for a second. You know what I mean? I don't care how hard you are. You love your mother, and I hope you love your kids.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So show that emotion that I love my kid and that I'm growing and that this is a big thing to me, that I'm having a child. You know what I mean? It was a great, great move for hip hop, and it was great because it showed the people it was purely from the heart. We're not promoting anything. This wasn't to sell anything. This wasn't associated with nothing about money making. It was strictly
because we could.
I can put a record out and have it pop.
Right.
It was real shit. I tell you, even like, for instance, my mother's, I have an Italian mother, 67 years old. Even her was like, yo.
You have an Italian mother?
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here.
What the fuck you acting like you don't know? But yo, the crazy shit is, what I want to say is my mom was even like, oh, they lost a baby, but they got one now. Like she was she was happy. Like, you know what I mean? Like they have opened their world to people, even 67-year-old guineas. Yeah.
Right.
Crazy.
Too easy.
Racist Pete.
Hey, listen. I'm racist against my own kind.
Yeah. Yo, what was your favorite album to produce, man? Like most enjoyable project that you worked on?
I mean, the Blueprint was incredible because we did it so fast.
Hold on, can you tell them about how that? Because you told me before about how it was being there for that one, but
yeah, I mean it was crazy. Like like I said, we would be in the middle of doing a whole bunch of other stuff, so it wasn't like planned. Kanye just came through. Kanye had an incredible CD. He was like, "Yo, I got some beats." It was 9 beats on that CD. We used 7 of them. The other 2 was like the Alicia Keys record. with the pianos in it or whatever that he did, and somebody else used the other beat. Like, that's how good all them beats was. So he just set it off. Jay was like, oh my God, these beats are incredible. Started rapping. You know, he did finish one song. Just Blaze walks in. It's like, oh, that's dope. That's where we going. Walks in the B room, starts working on beats. Jay, goes to eat, comes back, does another record. Goes in the front, plays pool for a little bit, comes back, does another record. So this was from a Friday to a Monday. We basically did the majority of that album in a weekend. You know what I mean? Then we reached out to like Eminem. We reached out to Trackmasters, Bink. But it was like the majority of the Kanye Just stuff happened in a real fast weekend. Jay was just knocking out records.
He was in a zone.
Yeah, he was in a zone. Super.
And that was one of those periods, man, where it's very hard to recreate. I mean, it was like the beginnings of like the whole takeover thing and the whole nine and
stuff that was like you said, it was just stuff fell in place. And I think hip hop was at a point right then where it needed a change. It was Swissed out. You know what I'm saying? Like, Swiss had so much success that he was leading that era. Right. And so, like anybody, all the other beat maker cats, they start copying what the popular sound is.
And
like
it starts watering,
kids now, it's like everybody copying Lex Luger right now.
Right.
So the next person to pop is going to be the person that don't do that. Right? You know what I mean? That's really what it was. That the blueprint was like, let's go back to sampling and let's go back to that feel that we had with them Diamond D albums and with the, you know what I'm saying, the whole Digging in the Crates crew album. Like the people that we used to worship, the Primos and the Pete Rocks and all those people, but have it be fresh in our way and new, but still it's a complete ode to all of those people.
Now, that album is so phenomenal on so many different levels, man. Being embedded during that whole beef, man, what was that like, man?
It was fun, yo. It was fun. Like, see,
y'all were having fun.
Yeah, for me it's fun. Like, it was never no thing where it's like I thought somebody wanted to do bodily harm to the next man. But it's like basketball. It's like great competition. But I revel in the fact that it gets played out in front of the whole New York. Or that I could go, yo, you know what? Yo, Angie, we're going to give you a song today. And it makes the whole New York stop.
I stopped.
And go, yo, I'm going to listen to Angie's show.
That was probably one of my...
going to the studio to make a record.
That was probably one of my most favorite hip-hop moments. I was in my office and I was like, everybody, I'm not taking a meeting for this next fucking hour. I got to hear this shit, man. And now, how did it feel, man? Because, I mean, as a hip-hop fan, you're growing up and I would imagine, and Nas is one of your favorites.
Of course.
Now, how did it feel being on the other side? Like
I just felt like he was the only worthy competition at that point, where it's like, okay, if he gonna say something, then yeah, he's worthy of a lot of these cats. I'll be like, Jay, they not worthy, and Jay be like, they not worthy. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna make him hotter by if I even engage him. But Nas was that person. Was like, okay, Nas is at that level. That's undebatable that he's one of the top MCs ever in here ever. Of course, you know what I'm saying? The words that man put together is crazy. But it's just like that's who you want to test yourself against is the best. If I'm on the court, it's like Jordan. He wanted to play against Larry Bird and Magic Johnson and beat them and be like, I'm the best nigga out here. Period.
Right. Now, it seems like from the outside looking in that other than the subliminals and the history of the beef and the whole nine, from outside looking in, it looked like Jay was at a point where was like, you know what, man, fuck that. I'm tired of this cat out here just being dope, and you know what I'm saying? Let's
always throwing little. First of all, Bleak started that bullshit with the, you know what I'm saying, with the who you supposed to be, your life is
because he's really one record away. He's one record away.
Bleak really started it.
Okay, lifestyle is really supposed to play your position,
right? Damn. So then, you know, it got to a certain point where it just escalated. It was throwing little shots back and forth.
The remix.
But then Jay killed it with the Summer Jam move. Like the Summer Jam move was just
where did the pictures come from?
Does it get better than that?
I don't know where the picture. It don't.
Hold up.
Better than that.
The stages that it gets to be shown.
Now you were DJing at that event?
No. I was still in the studio. I wasn't DJing for Jay.
Were you there when Jay got the pictures?
Nah, I did not see the picture until.
So you didn't know what was going to happen?
I didn't know that.
So you were in the dark?
I was, completely.
Wow.
Completely in the dark.
I thought you knew.
Nah,
who won that battle in your opinion and why?
Okay, here's the argument. You have to compare Ether to Takeover.
Yes.
You cannot compare Ether to the record that we did the night after we heard Ether.
And I think for the most part.
And that's what people compare. That's what lost on Angie's show. Now, if you're asking me what record won, obviously Ether won on Angie's show. But it's because it was played against Super Ugly. Super Ugly is not as good as Ether, but Ether's not as good as Takeover.
Right.
Yeah, but
Jay's giving facts on Takeover.
Right.
Facts. Nas is very cleverly playing the dozens. You got a big nose and okay, that's like the dozens. I'm giving facts. I didn't pay you. I paid search. I showed you your first tech. I did like these are
me. That's
facts.
who.
Yeah, these are facts. So Takeover was better. So, but I would see. I'm also this person. If I go out and I lose the game, I'm not gonna try to give you the excuse. You know what I'm saying? So that day we played Super Ugly.
Right.
Nas played Ether. So we lost that day. New York City ran with Ether. I'm not removed from the street.
Right,
I'm in the barbershop.
Of course.
My dudes is real dudes. They're not going to sugarcoat it. They're going to be like, yo, all right, this is what it is. But my argument is that Takeover is better than Ether.
Now, I will tell you this. The most phenomenal thing about that period, about that battle, is there was no way in hell Nas was supposed to be able to walk away from Takeover.
Right. Right.
And when he did,
it revived his career.
It was like, wow.
It revived his career.
Wow. It was
and as hip hop fans, didn't you feel like we was back in that Juice Crew?
Dude, it was the best. To this day, I think it's even better than the Juice Crew, as it was more evenly matched than Cher versus KRS-One or anybody versus whomever. You know what I'm saying?
Like
Ja Rule versus 50, whatever. Yeah. It's never been a battle that has been that.
It just felt.
You know what I'm saying? That level, man.
It felt great.
Right. Now, what was your least favorite?
Kingdom Come.
Why?
Because of the way that we had to put that record together. It was rushed. It was like Jay was on a world tour. Jay always dropped in November. Def Jam had got to a point where they really were, they relied bill-wise, you know what I'm saying, on their big albums, as any record label does. I'm not saying that that's their fault. But if Jay's on a world tour and he's in Africa and you're telling me, yo, Goo, I still need this album turned in at this day, and I'm like, yo, we not ready. He's nowhere near done. And they're like, yo, go get on a plane. You know what I'm saying? So you literally got Jay-Z rocking. In Africa, he was doing 30,000, 40,000, 50,000 because they fit inside a soccer stadium.
He was giving out the water.
All that was going on, right? So after a 50,000 show, I'm asking Jay-Z to go in the studio and spit verses and to be creative. But he got to travel 2 hours to the next spot and to this spot. Yeah, it's luxurious, but it's still, it takes a toll on you. So I had to finish that record on the road. And it was like me piecing together whatever I could piece together, and Jay calling in favors, and to me, I always say that that's the car that we put out without like really putting the paint on it and shining it because it had to go out. Right. But I think it's records on there, you know what I'm saying? But people just look at the album as a whole. If Jay-Z got 3 records on an album that you don't like, then it's like, oh, this is a whack album. Right. Versus everybody else is the reverse. If they got 3 records you do like, you get a guy a shot.
I remember when they was calling In My Lifetime a whack album. And that album has
it has the puff and I know a girl like, and then you be like, come on, Jay, why would you do? But see, at the time, you got to put it in context. Big is smashing, Puff is smashing. So you're going to get a Sunshine because Jay is looking at the playing field and going, I need to be in this. Winning. Then he realized, no, I don't need to do that. So you get Streets is Watching, and then you get
Where I'm from
Jay-Z. After the Streets is Watching. Right. Now you can get to the Annies and all over. Right. That's the records that can, because now I figured out the formula. Right. Now I know how to make records that I can really sell, and I know how to go on whatever radio station and just rhyme. Too many MCs can just rhyme. They don't know how to make records.
To this day, I feel Kingdom Come got a bad rep because I actually like that album because it was to me, out of all the post-retirement Jay-Z albums, it was a real honest record. Okay. He was going in a different direction. It was the maturation of Jay-Z.
Where would you rank that album in terms of all Jay-Z albums?
What? Blueprint is number 1.
Right.
To me, Reasonable Doubt is number 2.
Right.
I don't know where I would rank it.
It's the least best album.
No. I kind of like that album, to me, better than Blueprint 3.
No way.
And Blueprint 2. To me.
No, Blueprint 2 was my fault.
Because
seriously. That's another one where it's like, okay.
Now, to me, that was his worst album.
Well, 2. It's because of the fact that he has so many records. Jay was in a serious just zone.
Right.
He was just knocking out records. So then when you get to like my list and I got like 17, I'm like, yo, Jay, you need to do a double. Because the 17 should have been knocked down to 12 and then you would have liked the album. It's 12 records on there.
There's records on
12
there.
records on there.
But that record was all over the place.
We got to 17. Right. I'm like, yo, Jay.
Yo, you're a good soldier, man.
Yeah, Pac and
you are a good soldier, B.
The only people
you're gonna fall on that sword.
No, I did.
Give this man a round of applause, man.
I'm telling you, it was my fault because I'm steady arguing with Jay. Now this is a time when Jay listens and goes, okay, right? Because I'm like, yo, Pac and Big was the only other dudes that had the double albums that popped off. Let's do it. Right. Double album we got. So then we start doing the joint that everybody's on where we over the what was the sample? We was over the Earth, Wind and Fire.
Right, yeah.
Never made that
that's you know what I mean? You know what? I, because you brought it up, that is a horrible record.
Horrible record, right? Should have never made that. If we would have knocked that record down to 12 records, it would be one of the best.
Of course.
Blueprint 3, there's absolutely no way that I can't say that's not one of the top records.
Now, that's a great record, but I still,
record.
You know what I'm saying? For some, I don't know, maybe it's because where I was.
Okay.
And I, you know what I'm saying, like, I could really see being involved with Reasonable Doubt.
Okay.
You know, in Jay's early career, and then seeing where he is now, it made sense for me that he did Kingdom Come, and I just felt that Cats wasn't really open for that, man.
Okay.
What are we doing, man? We wrapping this up.
You guys got Twitter, the chat room, blaze right now.
Internet, so y'all getting enough content?
I mean, the takeover, eat the
y'all get enough content?
It's like every few months, the takeover, eat the convo just continues on. I mean, we in 2012.
Right. Only thing I will say is this, is like when you look at great fights, man, you know what I'm saying, the Alis, the Fraziers and all that, it's like you have to be in a certain league to even be in that fight. So when people argue and say, yo, Nas is this and Nas is that, and Jay and Nas chill, you know what I'm saying? Like, you respect how good this guy is at what he does. It's just the fact that at a certain point, Larry Bird and Magic Johnson had to go against each other to say who's the best in the NBA. And then afterwards, they probably went and had a beer. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, and a blunt.
Yeah, you gotta be able to you gotta be able to separate the two. It's not about no physical beef. It's not about that. It's about saying I'm the best. And I'ma always be like, yo, I'm the best. And I'ma work hard to be the best. That's it. That's it.
I saw somebody make that comment the other day that with all the pictures of Jay and Nas together now, like it's to be hard for people to believe that they ever had beef because you always see them smiling and laughing together.
Stupid.
Nah, think like 50, 60 years from now. Think 50, 60 years from now.
I'll tell you. When you listen to Takeover 50, 60 years from now,
you'll know that somebody's got beef.
Stupid 60 years from now.
I take it as one is showing people that you can grow up. And that's necessary in this game.
And that was big. That was really big now.
Showing people that you can grow up.
Right.
Number two, some of my best friends were enemies at some point because we went at each other. You know what I'm saying? And then at a certain point, it was like, yo, this is stupid. And we became the best of friends. But a lot of my good friends, we went at each other when we first met each other.
So were you privy to that relationship being reconciled, that Nas and Jay?
Yeah, that was a great moment.
Right.
That was a great moment. Nas came in the stool, and I was like, oh, shit.
Was it a little tension? Wasn't tension?
No, it was no tension. I'm sure Jay and Nas had a conversation before, but Jay's not the type of person. When people ask me questions about Jay, they be like as if Jay come and just say you know, Jay's a very quiet person. It's not like he's gonna be like, yo, Nas is coming through today. You just there. And then when Nas walked in, I was like, oh shit. The God is in here, right? So I'm like, you know what I'm saying? I'm a little like, I'm a fan.
Starstruck a little bit.
Not even starstruck. I'm just happy that he's there.
Right.
And then him and Jay was having a conversation, laughing and chilling and joking. And I'm like, okay, these niggas.
It wasn't forced. It wasn't
not forced at all. These niggas. It wasn't even about we should make some records together. No, they was chilling.
Right.
Like it was a great day. It was a great day.
Yo, what do you do when you're not working, man? Because you seem like you're so busy, man.
I'm always busy, but try to do stuff for the kids. Try to read.
You got kids, man?
Yeah, 4.
4 kids. I got 4 kids too, man.
Yeah.
How is fatherhood, man?
It's a beautiful thing. It's what shaped me. You know what I'm saying? I had my first child at 22. My first child real young. But fatherhood is a great thing. Trying to pass down. Finally got a son. Trying to pass down.
So you have 3 daughters and a
3 daughters and I have 2 twins. I have a boy and a girl twin. Those are my 8-year-olds. My daughter turns 13 tomorrow. My second one, and my oldest is 15.
That's interesting. I got 3 sons and my youngest is a girl.
Wow, that's exactly crazy.
What are you listening to right now, man?
A lot of Kendrick Lamar.
A
lot of still Dilla beats. I got this kid in Atlanta named Stanza that I really like. Y'all
That's a great name, actually.
Yeah, Stanza. He got an album called Name This Album on iTunes. It's real dope. What else am I listening to? A lot of Fela. You know what I'm saying?
Fela.
Fela.
You have the best of Fela?
Yeah. I'm on a Fela kick right now just because, sometimes I get in that mode. And Tony Allen is a crazy drummer. I really follow him. But I listen to everything. Like when I'm beat digging, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. I listen to a bit of everything.
Watching any movies, TV shows, reading any?
I'm a Star Trek head.
A word? A Trekkie?
Yeah.
Which era, man?
All of them.
Yeah.
I've seen every single one.
What was the best era?
Next Generation.
Next Generation?
Next Generation was better. The TV show was a starting point, and it was way ahead of its time. Deep Space Nine was horrible because it was all in one area, and that's not what Star Trek is about. So they tried. And then the ones where they did the pre-joints where they first went into space, the actors were wrong. So that was kind of corny. But
did you like the movie? You like the movie?
Love the movie.
Yeah.
Love the movie. But Next Generation was really it. They fit the whole of human existence into 7 years. And if you really get into it, mission from Farpoint all the way to the triple 3-hour ending wraps all of it together in one thing, and it's about the expansion of this thing called the Q is trying to get human beings to think for a second beyond their existence. And for one instance, Picard does it, and he goes and he about to tell him the secret of life and backs away, and that's how they end it. Perfect ending. Perfect ending.
What are you watching on TV these days right now?
A lot of HBO. You know what I'm saying? I do a lot of the HBO. And I ain't gonna front. My iPad kind of took over because the League Pass is $39.99 on the iPad. Yes, that's a commercial. Go get it. Between that and like HBO, that's all I really.
You watching Walking Dead?
Nah, I'm trying to get into it.
You know what?
It
was a rough start, but I like.
I'm waiting for what was the
Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones to come back.
Game of Thrones. Breaking Bad.
I like that. My cousin Tariq is like.
Have you watched the whole thing?
Yeah. I like it. But I can't get into certain ones. Like Pause. I definitely can't get into Hung.
Very good.
I can't get into I couldn't get into the vampire joints.
I didn't get into that.
But HBO, I give them a shot. They got great writers. I wish The Wire could come back for one season. One season.
It's perfect ending.
I think it's perfect.
I thought The Wire is the greatest show ever.
But you had a question for Guru.
No, I'm pretty good.
About something he's working on right now. You said.
Oh yeah, the SAE schools.
Oh yeah. That's part of the teaching. School of Audio Engineering. Big them up. Like they basically brought me in as associate professor.
Nice.
To teach engineering in their schools, and what's great about them is they have campuses all over the world. And I've done a lot in New York, but now we're going to start doing worldwide classes. And one of the dopest things is when I do the South Africa class, I'm going to set up a Young Guru scholarship with SAE to go in, pull, one of the kids from some of the poorest areas of South Africa and the ones that want to be an engineer, give him a full ride to go to SAE to learn engineering. So I'm hyped about that.
Nice, man. Yo, man, dude, this is great, man. I'm just thinking about this interview. I don't have any more questions.
Yeah,
I got no more questions.
A friend of mine, Mr. Bum B, Mr. Trilogy himself, told me that you in South by Southwest going to be sitting down with him for about an hour or something like that, talking about how the big pimping came. It was something that almost didn't even happen.
Exact that, and I wanna also like touch on just UGK career in general. Like people don't understand how influential UGK is as a group, and I think people don't really understand how much Pimp C put into the music.
Producer.
As making the music.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of people that jumped on the UGK bandwagon after that record, and I think it did great for them. But as much as I'm highlighting that record, I also want to highlight the whole UGK experience for the people that's been riding dirty from the beginning. Like, you know what I'm saying? And that's the whole thing. Like my experience at Howard was being around a whole bunch of people that at the time you couldn't tell me nothing. KRS-One was big. He was the best MC on the planet. So I got people from Oakland going, nah, Too Short is. And this guy is. And I got people from Texas like, nah, UGK is it. And this people is it. So we were all, it was a big melting pot where we listened to everything. And like UGK was the same, was like that group that even though they had a southern slang, they was talking stuff that was going on in the street. So it was like we gravitated towards it. But I concentrated on the production. Always have. I'm gonna always get an album like, all right, who did the beats first?
But they was really riding for Too Short like that.
Yes.
Yeah, Oakland back in the day. Yeah, seriously.
And even back then, way before you ever heard or saw a video, it was people going hard for E40 because he was a real because he was a real street dude.
E40 I can understand, but and it's no shots.
God.
I mean, Too Short was God, but
to them he was God.
Yeah,
but we was looking at lyricism,
right.
And they was looking at the whole package,
the culture and
exactly as the hustler and doing it from the. You know what I'm saying? I always give the Tupac Big argument. You know what I'm saying? Pac was a way more influential MC. Big was my favorite. I couldn't see beyond Biggie Smalls when he was alive. Right. Period.
Me neither.
Nobody existed.
Right.
Period. But Pac was way more influential. We was on our lyricism thing, but you had to realize that only once I got to Howard, I realized like our world in living in this upper East Coast area
is a small
really goes from Boston down to like Virginia.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's it.
It don't even go through DC.
It don't even go.
It don't even touch. DC is its own
some areas of Jersey either.
Yeah.
Leave that shit alone.
DC is its own island.
Right.
But once you get past the mountains, you go all the way down south. Everybody else was on a whole different vibe.
Yeah.
But we was arrogant because it was our thing. So we was like, yo,
we were the originators, and we were popping.
We set the styles and the trends and the culture.
Right.
Then when it flipped and it's not us no more, that's when you get the New York MCs not knowing what to do right now. That's the problem. They don't know what to do.
Yeah.
Because they walk in the club and I'm playing all Lex Luger beats. And I'm playing, Young Money and all of that. They don't know where to fit into my club right now. Because they can make a record, but it's got to be so good that I can
competitive.
I can break my format of these type of records to play your record.
Right.
That's what, and New York got to start fucking with each other again, man. Remember that shit. Like it was competition, but you got records with Jay and the Locks and like DMX and all these other like all the crews from the city fucked with each other. All these people, everybody too big now. Everybody like, I'm super duper this and I'm super duper that. And I'm like, yo, you can't even fit 2,000 people into a spot.
And everybody's so concerned about bringing New York back, man. Make some fucking records.
Yeah,
Don't
make the records.
bring New York back. Just make
the records.
some fucking records, man.
No, when you'll have brought New York back when you're standing on that stage and go, yo, we did it, New York.
Exactly.
The same way Big said we did it, Brooklyn. When you're accepting the award, then New York is back.
Exactly.
Damn.
God bless.
Dude, I don't have no more questions.
Well, where is that airing? Where's that going to air? Where can people find that that interview you're going to sit down speaking about how
it's going to be at a panel at South by Southwest. It'll be taped. I'm not sure exactly where it's going to air at yet, but you know what I'm saying. Bun is like he's like one of them people that you just have to respect. Like you have to respect that man's career. You have to respect how he carries himself. You have to respect that he's still current right now. Like you have to respect that. So I want people to not just know him from a Drake album or him from, or this or that. I'm talking about my 15-year-old daughter. I'm talking about an 8-year-old, a 10-year-old, junior high kids that I talk to. Not cats that I don't feel like they not up. I'm talking about educating youth as to, yo, this is that man. When you look at rock and roll, 10-year-olds know who the rock and roll cats is from the 70s
They preserve
and the 60s.
the culture.
Yes,
they preserve the culture.
Absolutely. And they praise the older cats. Whereas in hip-hop, we start mocking them.
I think we're at a pivotal point right now where we are in a position to start preserving our culture, man.
Absolutely.
What else do you have to share with the internets before we sign off, man? What do you want? What do you want them to know about what you're working on?
What else am I doing right now? We got the Carnegie Hall thing is going to come out. I don't know what form or fashion that's going to come out, but that's eventually.
Congratulations on that. That's a big
I think that was
accomplishment.
A big thing. It just got announced today. Now we can let it out the bag that Jay's going to be down in South by Southwest. So
Nice.
We're getting ready for that.
Nice.
What else am I doing right now, man? Just a little bit of everything. Just working on beats.
Okay.
Coming out with my own stuff, but I'm gonna serve no wine before it's time. Like it's got to be incredible. I'm not just putting out regular beats. Like I got too many friends that's like incredible beat makers for me to just come out with regular music. So just look out for that. And just look out for me teaching. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna come out with a lot more teaching, educational stuff, and not just about hip hop, just in general. Because that's what we need to do. We
Economic empowerment.
Yeah, just taking some of these girls or some of the guys that's good writers, and you can write a kids book. Kids books sell way more than any other. Like
yes.
that, but do it from a cultural base of where you know, you're going to attract them because it has hip hop in it. You know what I mean? But it's not necessarily a hip hop thing.
Of course.
We got to start empowering that way and make the job.
And start thinking outside the box, man. Start thinking outside the box.
Make the job.
Well, Young Guru, man, you have been an excellent guest, man.
Man.
Anytime. Anytime, man.
I finally made it up here.
Yeah, and I hope Jay gets to hear the Combat Jack
I
show.
ain't get to going on my Ben Amin stories though, man.
Oh, tell us what story? What story?
I've known this dude for a long time.
Really?
Long
How'd you feel when my man got locked up, man?
I was pissed.
Yeah.
I was really pissed.
Did you send him a kite?
I definitely didn't send him a kite because we didn't know how to get in touch with him. Everybody was hitting the same person, and it was basically like, yo, we don't know what the situation is right now. This and that. All we know is Ben got locked up. Yo, we was tight. Like the whole Howard community was tight.
That's crazy.
Like, that was
y'all had
crazy.
T-shirts, free Ben Hameen?
Yeah, that's classic.
Something like that. It was something like that. Nah, but that's my dude, man. Like real recognized real. Like when he came in, like I was talking about Jedi, see another Jedi. I seen it back then. Like I knew what he was going to be and who he was and the way he rolled and his crew. Like they really came to our joints and supported what we was doing. And then, you know, when they formed it and took over and basically was like, all right, yo, we see what y'all doing. We passed the torch. We out of here. Y'all continue it and just take it over. Like
That's you?
Yeah.
That's Ben Hameen?
Could you believe this shit?
Yo, that's Ben Hameen, B.
I mean, like when I came into Howard, like I said, Guru was like the top dog. Like his parties were the shit, everything, and then it was like we just wanted to be like his crew. We wanted to be like RNF, so we formed up our own crew, and you know, once they moved on, we took it over.
Did you get as much pussy as they were getting?
He probably got way more than me. He don't want me to say that.
I'm not going to talk about that right now. My mom listens to this show.
Your mom listens to this show?
Occasionally, you know what I mean? That'll be my excuse.
I was chilling
What, she is? I'm sorry, Mama Ben
I had
Hameen.
girlfriends. I was chilling at a certain point in school. Ben Amin had it popping, son.
I was definitely
Poppin',
single throughout my years at
He
Howard.
was popping.
You know what that means?
He had it popping.
Popping means
It was yeah, Howard was a great time. I mean, and just like you said, like to meet Biggie walking across the yard and yeah.
What album do you wish you had an opportunity to work on, man? Which album do you wish out of every album? What album is like, damn, I wish I had a chance to touch that?
Hip hop or just in general?
In general, man. That's
shit, Thriller.
Hold up. Tell about when you went to Quincy Jones' house.
Or any Bob Marley album, I would have loved to work on it. But Quincy Jones probably has the illest plaque I've ever seen in my life, ever, for Thriller. You know, he had a party, whatever. His son was, throw parties, whatever. We was in there. And I
talking about QD3.
Yeah. And I actually got to speak to Quincy for a couple minutes and kick it with him or whatever. But he has this Thriller plaque, that is like 40. At the time, it was at 40 million, right? So imagine 40 platinum plaques in a circle, and it's like this much space, an inch of space in between all of them. This huge ass plaque of 40 million. Can you imagine what that is to sell 40 million of one record?
Dude, I can't even imagine that, dude.
One record?
That's game over.
And no. But this is Quincy Jones at the end of his career.
Exactly.
Not to say his career is over, but this man, you got to understand, this man is like played with the greats of the jazz world. Came
Miles.
through, Miles and all that. Brought them through all. I'm talking about big band.
Yes.
Came through that. Came through the jazz fusion. Came through all of that. Brought that up. Did We Are the World. Did like all these different things. And in the middle of that, he's in the party. Sees this little goofy kid. He's like, "Oh, what's your name, Will Smith? I'm gonna make a TV show for you." Does Fresh Prince of Bel-Air? Okay. I don't have no print media. Let me start Vibe magazine. Like everything. This man is incredible in what he done. Then like. You understand what I'm saying?
No, I definitely understand.
Thriller?
Yeah.
And this is off the wall. Which arguably could be a better album.
Exactly.
It's just Thriller got more commercial
That's
hits.
crazy.
This is coming off the wall as a producer. Then now, this is what's really bugged out, is that now in the computer age, we're getting to hear the demos. Or the other. Have you ever heard the other songs, like the other writing where Quincy was like, "Nah, Mike, that's not it."
I've heard some of that.
And do it again.
Yeah, I've heard that.
They wasn't hits.
Right.
Like you really get to hear Quincy Jones was the shit as a producer. That's not it, Mike. Redo that. Or he said they did a bunch of songs and he was like, this is where Jay got it from. It was like, yo, what's the worst three? Take them off. Like those records had to be.
Which is, and you're not taking bad records off. You're just taking the least three hottest songs.
And you came out with Thriller.
Wow.
I think that's what's going on with Detox. Like,
I don't know. I don't know. You want me to give you my opinion?
Proceed.
I think Dr. Dre is a perfectionist. I think that he wants to every time come out with a completely new sound, and I don't think he's found that sound yet. I think that he's bringing, like, because he's
changed the game so many times.
His level is so high. If he comes out with a great album that sounds like 2001, you're gonna be like, yo, this is what we waited all this time for. Now it's gotta be this super epic thing. So like all producers, he's invited everybody to come. Just make me some beats. This one, make me some beats.
So
that
those
one,
are like brainstorming sessions.
Just
basically.
off of the people that I know, there's probably 3 Detox albums, let alone the amount of material that's there. But I will say this. I prefer Dr. Dre that's a perfectionist or an Andre 3000 that only puts out a verse once every 3 years because they're immaculate. They're immaculate. They're perfect. You know what I'm saying? So when Dre drops it, it's going to be perfect. They always work. Every time I'm in Cali, they like, yo, we working on Detox.
They stay working on Detox right now.
It
don't ever stop.
It'll be DOC.
It don't ever stop.
Snoop and Drake and all.
That's a whole different spaceship internets.
So when you land in LAX, you know you're working on Detox.
I think when it comes out, it's going to be an incredible record. But I don't think Dr. Dre has found the sound that's good for him. All of us, every single person that walks in that room is like, are you? I would love that record. Give me that. You know what I'm saying? But that is Dr.
He's
Dre
changed the game 5 times, B. 5 times he's changed the game.
Yeah. And people don't understand. That's where you're showing your maturity. Because people don't understand Dr. Dre from World Class Wrecking Crew.
He's changed the game 5 times, B.
Yes.
Turn off the
Yes.
Yeah. Not 5 records. He's changed the game
5 times.
All right, man, I got to get you out of here, man. I got to kick you out. I am officially kicking Young Guru off the show now, my dude.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Ben, shout outs.
Yeah, shout out Young Guru for coming through finally, you know what I mean?
Shout out you for making that happen, man.
Thank you, sir. And, you know, like,
he told me you might not have made it today, and I had all these questions written down.
Yo, I'm going to tell y'all real talk. I looked at everybody in the rehearsal, and I was like, yo, I got to really go. And they looked at me like I was crazy.
Really?
Cause we rehearsing. So it's just like, okay, you got to do what? I'm like, yo, I got to go to the Combat Jack show.
Rehearsing for
South by Southwest.
Okay.
Yeah. We got some new interesting.
Jay was chilling at the Nets.
Yeah, of course. He gets to, that's what he gets to do.
I got one question.
Rein it in.
Real quick. So we talking about Nas and Jay.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think Nas and Jay will ever do a collabo album?
An album?
Yes.
I don't know about an album. I'd like to hear songs from them, but an album?
Nah, it is.
Do you want to hear Watch the Throne 2? It has to come out first. You know what I'm saying? So,
do you want to hear an album of Nas?
He wants the Avengers.
I want to hear songs.
I think that was the question.
I just think they're two totally different in how they approach music and what they choose to rap about. You know what I'm saying?
Content.
It's two sides of the same coin. It's a little different. I'm not telling you your opinion. I'm asking you. I'm asking you as a person that could possibly.
Maybe it's always something in the back of my mind. Like, man, I wonder how that would sound. But 5 years ago, I would have. That would have been my thing.
Me personally, I would like to hear songs, but not necessarily a album.
Yeah, it wouldn't be as natural as.
It'd be forced.
As Jay and Kanye perfecting the Watch the Throne 2 sound, which is coming out when?
Whenever they feel like it.
Okay.
Whenever they feel like it. Whenever they feel like it.
Okay.
Let me get some beats on there. Let me get some beats on Watch the Throne 2.
Definitely great interview, great show.
Yes.
I mean, one thing I like about Cat is, not only the knowledge and the smartness that you definitely obtained over the years, is that, like, you kept on going back onto, like, helping people and, kids and stuff like that. And, like, that's just definitely inspiring because this music is definitely being around the rock and all that. But at the end of the day, it's about, the seeds that you plant. You know what I mean?
I appreciate that.
It was the first time he
focus. Yeah.
He didn't say nothing racist, did he?
Yeah.
Nah. All right, cool.
Don't listen to him. But anyway, listen. It never stops. The Combat Jack Show featuring the On the Road.
The Combat Jack Show.
He's tired.
Featuring the On the Road, Dallas Penn. Shout out to everybody on the check-in. Shout out to everybody in the studio right now. Shout out to whoever's listening to it right now. Yeah, you. All right.
Yo, shout out to Young Guru for coming through once again. Shout out to Combat Jack Show. Man, we 14 minutes to 1 o'clock, man.
Man,
3 hours.
I can't do this every week, man.
Big shout out to everybody.
It's too much content, B. It's too much content.
Shout out to everybody in the Twitterverse, on the chat room. Sorry we couldn't get your questions in, but hit up Young Guru at @young_guru on Twitter. You know what I'm saying?
And this is YOUNG, not YUNG.
Not Young.
Get it right, not Young. Matt Raz, almost.
Yeah. Oh, Young Guru 763 on Instagram.
There you go.
I get to popping on there.
I
get to popping on there.
During one of our breaks, he pulled out like 50 fucking lenses.
I'm on my lens
for the
game.
iPhone, B.
I'm on my Instababs game. It's that serious with me about these Instababs. If you don't know what Instababs is, look it up. We about to make it pop. Yes. Google it.
So thank you to Young Guru for coming through. I want to say peace to Wesley Snipes. I've been enjoying a lot of his motion pictures this week. Keep your head up.
Yeah, free Wesley Snipes.
Yeah, I got one more before we close out.
Yeah.
Shout out to my man, Reality Bites, the High Flyers Club. And Please Don't Stare on March 9th. We'll be debuting a video that we directed, produced, a little Biggie tribute. Just look out for that. I don't want to give away too much information.
That,
but March 9th.
Could you believe that?
What?
15 years this Friday.
15 years.
Biggie Small.
Crazy, yo. Crazy. Like it was yesterday.
Crazy. That's a whole other.
I blew trees with him. I flew overseas with him.
That's a whole other interview. I did want to, you know what? We didn't get to talk about Just Blaze. That's another time.
That's my guy.
Shout out to Just Blaze.
Everybody knows that's my guy. That's my brother from another mother. Shout out to Just Blaze.
Yo, all right. Let's wrap this up, man. Dream them dreams and then man up and live them dreams, because a life without dreams is black and white and the universe flows in technicolor and surround sound black.
Blah.
My man.